see Darren Jolly walking down, running down to the ground there, and no doubt that will stretch the Carlton defence. Not sure whether Brett Ratton was ready for that. We're looking forward to seeing these matchups in the middle. We've got Gibbs, Stevens and Judd. We see Favola and Leo Barry there. That's going to be a fantastic duel also.
It's 10th against 4th on the AFL ladder. Jolly in the goal square.
Thornton, his opponent there.
Kirk and Judd. It looks like Brett Kirk and Chris Judd have gone together in the midfield. So the two captains there, Betts and Bolton. Interesting matchup. There's the two skippers next to each other.
The roof is closed at Telstra Dome, and we are underway as Cameron Cloke and Spider Everett go at it hard. Under the pack at the moment, Cade Simpson.
Important to Peter Everett to start well in this game. Paul Roos is giving a great opportunity here.
Ball set down once more by umpire Matt Stevick. Non-event really. Cameron Cloke, looping hand pass. And now Carlton looking to get away. Knocked down Walker with an early touch. Judd, nice handball to the run of Jared Waite. Goes to work. Can he seal it in his 100th game? Unfortunately, no.
Terrific run and carry by Waite. Now, he started off the back of the square. His opponent this afternoon is Ryan O'Keefe. And we know how hard a worker Ryan O'Keefe is both ends of the ground. But if Waite can just get on his bike, it at least makes O'Keefe a little bit more accountable in his role.
Swans taking a long time to restart. Eventually, Ted Richards running outside the defensive 50 with the support of Matner. Did that well. Now trying to find O'Keefe, who had the ball knocked away. Comes again, though, O'Keefe. Oh, hand pass missed its target, and it's scooped up by Luke Ablett, who's looking for O'Loughlin. Standing his ground in the front of the pack, Heath Scotland.
Well, he's got Jude Bolton with it. It's a very good mark.
Kick for Simpson. Showed a lot of it to Jared McVeigh, but Simpson tracks it down now. Luxury of a bounce as well. He's corralled by Goods. Betts. Hand pass on. Carlton looking dangerous at the moment. Again, they attack. Coming out Walker trying to draw a free kick. Couldn't get any sympathy from the umpire. Now Kennelly. In the back pocket. Can clear for Sydney. On the lead, the mark is being taken by Paul Bevan. Reluctant to go up the wing initially where Playfair was leading. Now he goes beyond that. O'Loughlin nudged in the back there by Carazzo, but it goes unwhistled.
We'll have to do a lot of that leading at the moment. But Michael O'Loughlin, we'll just see there. Very good play from Jamieson. Just used his forearm with Jolly playing deep in the square for Sydney.
Everett from behind. Indecisive with the tap. Tangle of arms and legs. Goods underneath all that. Tackled by Brad Fisher, going nowhere.
When before the game, this is where Carlton, the exact same spot, we saw them go third man up.
Yep.
Pretty conscious of the fact that Everett and Jolly may have an advantage over Cameron Cloke.
Bryce Gibbs doing a lot of that third man up stuff as well.
Ablett went third man up there, missed it completely. Cameron Cloke with a kick, clearing the congestion, but straight to Tyg Kennelly. And the Swans looking to run. Bolton. Well-weighted kick to the run of Ryan O'Keefe. Steps inside Fisher. Back the other way. Now Jolly. The big man takes the mark.
Well, that was great play. Fisher came up onto O'Keefe, which allowed Jared Waite to come back, but O'Keefe still had the awareness. Didn't pull the trigger on his right leg, just got on his favoured left leg. And it was a good lead from Jolly.
10 goals, 9 this season, only a 50-50 proposition there. It's a goal kicker against Carlton the last time they played, but hasn't kicked a major for 3 weeks in the AFL. From right on the 50, unloads, looks good off the boot. The Swans draw first blood.
Well, Paul Roos, one tick already for Paul Roos coaching. He told Lee Colbert pre-game that he was going to start Darren Jolly forward, and he was going to try and stretch the defence of Carlton. It was great ball use. They opened it up here, and O'Keefe, now, he got inside, which, as you called, Spo, was terrific footy. Great kick, too, on the leading player.
Well, positive signs there for Sydney. It started from the run of Tyg Kennelly out to Bolton to O'Keefe to Jolly. So all their better players, senior players, having an impact early. Just see the height difference there. Darren Jolly Another interesting matchup. Bryce Gibbs and dual Brownlow medalist Adam Goods.
And Murphy is being run with by Kieran Jack, who's been doing some of those jobs for Sydney.
Goods dispossessed. Ball still in the centre circle.
That's great coaching from Brett Ratton. Giving Bryce Gibbs another great opportunity to play on a great player, hard-running player such as Adam Goods.
Cloak again takes front position. Knocked down Ablett in the process, and we're still pinned inside that circle.
Whilst he's still only a baby in footy terms, Bryce Gibbs, there's a blood riddle here. He's actually quite tall for a midfielder. He's quite tall. He's 188 centimetres. 188 centimetres. Adam Goods, we know, is a big player. Looks Goods 194. So he's not a shrimp midfielder. He's quite a tall midfielder, Bryce Gibbs. We know he's been in wonderful form.
Jared Moore onto the ground for Sydney. With Ablett, the blood rule. It's a chance for Bevan. Quick handball out of congestion and running onto it. Kieran Jack measures the pass. A little too low for Jolly. Couldn't scoop it up. O'Keefe in traffic. Called for a throw. That was the call from umpire Ray Chamberlain. Now the Blues look to clear defensive side of the wing. Cameron Cloak. That's the support there of Thornton. He looks for Gibbs with problems coming at him strongly.
Terrific play.
Leo Barry, but he shrugged the tackle. Now Andrew Walker in his first appearance for 2008 just bombs it to the goal square, and Fisher has taken the mark.
It's a very good mark there from Fisher. Adam Goods was just caught spectating a little bit. He worked back hard, but then didn't really initiate much contest in this marking contest here. You see his direct opponent, Gibbs, great running from him. So Goods thought, OK, you've got the ball, I'll get back and try and defend. We just see the long kick here. Adam Goods just perched under the ball, tried to look for the body too much and didn't go at the football.
Fisher's kicked goals in his last 4 games, but that's a woeful effort and a minor score.
Kicked that off his knee. Now, that bit of play by Gibbs, that's what we talked about pre-game, Danny, was his composure under pressure. He can just stick his way through the traffic. Well, he's going to be a very, very good AFL player.
Almost 7 minutes played. Term number 1 as Richards looks for O'Keefe. Right there with him, Heath Scotland. It appeared to be taken high there. Lewis Roberts-Thompson goes unwhistled. Chris Cameron's restarts. Jolly into the ruck, went straight to Walker. And Scotland with multiple tacklers. And another stalemate.
Jolly's gone into the ruck. Everett's had a spell, and Grundy's pushed forward for Sydney.
Cruiser at the feet of Scotland. Congestion around the ball. Eventually it emerges. Goods taken down without it. That goes unwhistled. Blues continue to force it forward. Nick Stevens
letting it go. It was amazing.
Rugby scrum.
Well, McVeigh was taken high as well.
Whistle umpire. It's quite interesting, Liam, that Brendan Favola is spending a lot of time up the ground. We see him at the stoppage here, just at the top of the screen around this scrimmage, not playing normally out of the goal square.
Well, you think with a bit of a size advantage, he could take him to the goal square, but probably trying to run him into a bit of touch early.
Free kick to the Blues. Mark Murphy being held off the ball. Laterally, Heinz Carazzo.
A lot of numbers behind the footy here. Look at the numbers in front of him.
Carazzo again just bombing to the top of the square.
Oh, surely.
Jolly takes the mark, but a free kick going to the Blues.
Well, I think that was on too. Maybe we'll get a look at this replay, but a lot of players went to ground. If you have a look here, it was against play for, I think you'll find. It might even be Roberts-Thompson there. Yeah, that's a push. It was a push twice. So take your pick. Whoever's the better kick here should take this, either Hartlett or Big Cruiser. In fact, Big Cruiser will take the kick.
Well, it was his free kick.
Well, Cruiser, at 19, the youngest player on the ground today, has kicked 6 goals straight this year, and the #1 recruit makes it 7 without a miss.
Well, they just pushed forward hard. We saw all the numbers then when the ball was coming in long, and both content. Look, that was a free kick to Hartlett for a start, and then against Playfair, certainly a free kick. It was very important they got a goal there. So both terms of contact was well before the ball was there. Probably didn't need to do it either play, really.
And both sides have got a goal each, and both come from ruckman. Jolly for Sydney and Cruiser just onto the ground and has scored a goal. That's a fantastic start.
Nine and a half minutes played, term number 1. Carlton retake the lead. Cruiser into the ruck. Up against Jolly, and Cruiser wins the tap. Went straight to Kieran Jack, though, and took too long. Blues with some momentum here as Gibbs takes a bounce. Now measures the pass.
Oh, good courage.
Richards sliding across.
That's good 50. That's great intent there from Ted Richards.
Look at little Ray go. Gee, he got the skates on there.
His steps were about a foot long, weren't they?
Oh.
O'Loughlin the target here.
That's 52.
Taken out strongly by Jared Waite.
Well, I'm not sure it is 50 Spade, actually, because he was committed to the contest. He got him high after he'd marked it, but I think he was already in the air. It was a terrific mark.
You're right in the end. It was the impact. It wasn't late. Looking at the umpire. It was well umpired in the end. We just see great coach from both boys. Eyes on the ball. Yeah, Waite was committed.
Sure, he could have done much else there. With the roof closed, it's a beautiful day to be kicking for goal. We saw Jolly's kick didn't look like missing.
He's got 2 metres.
Obviously, difficult spot to be marking, but it's a good, strong mark by Mickey O'Loughlin.
20 seconds gone.
Great mark at the other end by Ted Richards, I might add.
O'Loughlin, Swans leading goal kicker, has kicked goals in his last 10 matches. This one just sliding across the face of goal and through for a minor score. Let's go to Lee Colbert.
That's Mickey O'Loughlin's second big hit in 2 weeks. He was concussed last week, and once again early in this game, Jared Waite fixed him up.
Colby, I just want you to watch O'Keefe and Waite. When O'Keefe goes up the ground, I think Jared Waite is pretty happy to go up the ground, and he'll stay back and help defend.
Exactly, mate. He's dropping off and basically trying to cover the defensive 50 for Carlton.
Good body work by Kennelly. Got rid of Jordan Russell. Takes the bounce, wants a shepherd, and gets one. He comes across the ground. It was a dangerous kick, looking for Matt O'Dwyer, the first gamer. Did that well to hand over to Jude Bolton, who's taken in a strong tackle, holding the ball.
He tried to take him on.
He played the advantage, but I think he's bringing it back now. So
Great tackle. We see Jude Bolton tried to take Carazzo on, just basically ran into a brick wall.
Not sure why he didn't put his arm out there and try the fend off, but he tried to do the rugby push.
Thornton in space. Plenty of time to measure the kick. It's a good one.
All the free kicks going
Empty goal square. Empty goal square.
Simpson takes a bounce. Unprotected goal square. Beckons. He's pushed it across the face. A minor score.
Good run there. It was actually a really good kick inside. Look at the free kicks, 5-zip. Favour the Blues at the moment.
McVeigh is on Simpson, so Jared McVeigh's had a very good month.
Richards, good penetration with the kick. To make the contest, it was a good job by Heath Grundy. The late inclusion with Nick Malcheski being omitted. Chris Camelins with a quick restart. Cruiser, good use of the body. And Jolly with a shoulder problem here after that ruck duel.
Let's keep an eye on that Lee Colbert down on the boundary line. Certainly holding his shoulder, John.
Nick Stevens. That's a handball away. Carazzo, never far from the ball. Bent it, who started on the bench, goes down under a strong tackle from Marty Matner.
Well, Sydney's the #1 tackling team in the competition, led by Kirk, who's ranked 1, and Bolton 2, and they are a very good tackling team, Sydney.
Goods has pushed forward here. One out with Gibbs. If he can get it to him, it's probably not a bad result.
Favola from behind. Almost running down Matner, but it goes to Jolly, takes the mark. He wheels around, 60 metres out. Goods at the back. Gibbs and Goods going at it. It's a great matchup at the moment. Here's Brett Kirk. Quick hands. Not enough on the kick there from the rookie Matt O'Dwyer. And Carlton with a chance to get out of trouble. Nick Stevens, cool in a crisis. Looks for Heath Scotland. Right there with him, Craig Bird. Scotland has support. Provided by Wiggins. Good hustle also from O'Loughlin, and the Swans win it back. O'Keefe drives them forward, outnumbered, in best position to take the mark. Jared Waite.
There he is again. He's there to support the defence. O'Keefe is up around the wing, and Waite is happy for him to go up there so he can go back and help the Carlton defence.
Simpson.
Here's O'Keefe.
Looks for the lead of Favola. Good body work there from Leo Barry, who's now got some problems. Holding the ball.
It's a tough deal.
Favola quickly on with the job. Mark is being taken now by Wiggins. Running past Judd. Kirk trying to track him down. Can't get there. And Captain Judd kicks the goal.
Fantastic running from Chris Judd, the superstar skipper, coming off the ground. But it started from Brendan Favola. He's playing up the ground. We see Favola here. Wow, though, unfortunately did drag the ball in, and that's positive signs for Carlton. Favola playing up the ground. We see Wiggins there. He's doing the gating roll on Matner, but just the sheer speed of Chris Judd. Kirk tried his hardest, but he just wasn't quick enough, unfortunately.
Chris Judd kicks his 10th goal of the year and his first since round 10. Some quick instructions as well from Brett Ratton, who played 15.5 minutes. The Blues lead by 8 points.
As brave as Brett Kirk is, if it's a one-on-one with a sprint, he knows he's not going to be able to keep up.
Cloak won the tap, went to Luke Ablett, who has Sydney going forward. Playfair the target, couldn't take the mark under pressure. O'Keefe looks for support, provided by Jared Moore. Hooks around the body, O'Loughlin. One-on-one duel. Couldn't recover quickly enough, and how's that for cooling a crisis? Michael Jamison gets it out to the run now of Gibbs. Cloak available in the middle. Takes the mark. The fans getting excited as Carazzo measures the pass, and the Blues from one end of the ground to the other.
Great football, corridor football. You see young Hartley. The positive sign for Carlton, Liam, is the fact that Favola's not having a great impact. He's up the ground, which is great. Need to encourage more Carlton players to get the ball inside their forward 50.
Well, they've had a couple of options. This boy is big raps on Adam Hartlett, and the other player who's had a couple of early touches is Wiggins across half forward. So we talked about their need for a few more of those players to be involved.
Hasn't kicked a goal since round 13 the last year. Hartlett hits across the face in a minor score.
His direct opponent is Lewis Roberts-Thompson, and it's a dual thing for Brett Ratton. Favola, bring him up the ground, but make Lewis Roberts-Thompson play as a full-back, because last week Franklin walked Lewis Roberts-Thompson back to full-back, and he was all at sea.
Bevan gave it back to Bolton when he didn't really need it, and he's going to get a free kick for pushing the back. Kennelly wanted to come back to Leo Barry, but he was waving him away, and now Favola's wrapped him up and he's holding the ball.
2 tackles to the Fev. That's fantastic play. You know he can kick some big goals, but this is fantastic.
I'll tell you what happened then. He looked inside because there was a Swans player loose, but Wiggins went as hard as he could to him, so that closed up, that opportunity closed up really quickly, which created the confusion. So he went to go back then, but that was great defensive play in the forward line by Wiggins.
3 goals won last week in the loss to St Kilda, and he's been firing at 67% this season for Favola. Looking for number 65 on the season. Close, but no cigar. 7 scoring shots to 2, and the Blues have a 10-point buffer to show for it.
They need to nail a couple of goals. They've had all the momentum. 2 goals 5 to 1 goal 1.
Just give you a matchup we talked about pre-game. Bryce Gibbs had 5 touches. Adam Goods is now sitting on the pine. He's had no touches. We've gone 18 minutes in this first quarter.
The positive for Carlton, Liam, is the fact that they've gone inside their forward 58 times and they've scored 7 times, so that is efficient football.
Barry looking for O'Keefe and coming across. Everett takes the mark. That number's inside, looks in that direction. Bolton for Kennelly, up from full-back. His pass, though, left a little to be desired, went to the advantage of Jamison.
The contested area of the game with Swans is so good, and Carlton are dominating that at the moment. Oh,
Thornton
off the bench.
Looking for Walker. Goods chops the arms, according to the umpire.
21-12 contested possessions against the Swans. Good start by the Blues.
Kick to no one in particular. Heath Scotland runs onto it now. in the centre circle. Has the lead out wide of Wiggins. Bevan goes with him and gives away the free kick.
Well, they're second to the ball at the moment, the Swans. They're giving away all the free kicks. I know the free kicks are going Carlton's way, but they're in front. They're first to the ball.
Fisher leads, shook his opponent and takes the mark.
Well, this is great coaching from Brett Ratton. You talk about Paul Roos a tick early, Liam. He's got Favola up the ground. He's got Wiggins doing a defensive job on Matner, and now he's got Lewis Roberts-Thompson and Ted Richards playing key post on the last line of defence.
Fisher's first effort was a shocker, can only improve from there. And he's going to give the Blues a 16-point lead.
The options up forward are the key for Carlton. Have a look at that, a little bit of a free kick, bit of a hand in the back. But it was good lateral running here by Fisher. He started on the other side of the ground. He started on the other half-forward flank. Now, Ted Richards went to ground, but still it was a good, hard lead, and it was well honoured too. The kick was an absolute beauty. Didn't try to drill it, just put it out in front of him, made him run to the space. Contested areas where the key is at the moment for the Blues.
Well, Brad Fisher kicked a career-high 39 goals last season. That's number 17 in 2008. As we enter time on term number 1, Carlton enjoy a 16-point lead. They've kicked the last 3 goals of the match. Tangle of arms and legs. Favola dragged out of there without it. And the Blues are away again. High, up and under. Going back with courage. Peter Everett.
That's magnificent play, Everett. He never took his eyes off the ball for any second and running into traffic. Good courage there.
McVeigh has Leo Barry all on his own. Wanted to come in board again. It's onto the favoured left. Has to hook it around the body. Was looking for playfair, but he was outmatched by Mark Austin on that occasion, playing his first game. Well, just his second game, his first of the year.
This is going to hurt because Leo Barry was one that was up the ground.
Favola from just inside the 50 unloads, and the Blues have kicked 4 in a row.
You're half asleep, Sydney. You called it, Lamb. Leo Barry kicked the ball and then he spectated. He didn't go back and readjust and find his direct opponent in Brendan Favola. Carlton are dominating this game. We just see here Favola with all the space in the world. Cannot see Leo Barry in the screen whatsoever till late. Too late, she cried, because Favola with no pressure on him from that area was always going to nail a goal, and Sydney just desperately need to tighten up here at the moment.
A pensive Paul Roos at the moment. Blues have kicked 4 goals in 12 minutes.
There's Lewis Roberts-Thompson at full-back. This is good coaching. Favola's having an impact at centre-half forward. He's got Leo Barry out of his favoured zone. He's got Lewis Roberts-Thompson at full-back where he's uncomfortable.
Cloak wins the tap to Judd. Was tackled before he had it, according to the umpire. The Blues go to Betts. Appeared to be nudged again by Bolton. It goes unwhistled. Goods can't find it on the ground. Hartlett involved.
You saw Goods there behind the ball. He hasn't touched the footy yet. 22.5 minutes now, and that's... initially it looked free kick. Carlton wanted free kick, but...
Well, look at Sydney now trying to shut the game down. The amount of numbers around the stoppage.
Goods supplies the tackle. Bentick going nowhere.
It's a very good decision.
Well, there's extra Swans players around the stoppage, which means there's a couple of free Carlton players behind the ball. Have a look at the numbers around the stoppage now.
Everett bravely takes it out of the ruck. Jude Bolton wrapped up in a tackle quickly there by Sean Grigg.
Yeah, you summed that up beautifully, John. Bravely took it out. When there's that many players around the contest, all we needed was someone to grab him and it would have been a free kick to the Blues.
And this is initiated by Paul Roos. Watch the run-up. Let's just slow the game down, get it back on our terms, get stoppage after stoppage.
All 36 in one half of the ground at the moment. Leo Barry taken high or pushed in the back will get the free.
You look up the ground here now, Leo Barry, they can't get an outlet player. They can't get a player really to get loose here, which is they're so good at. Having a one-on-one everywhere.
Sold the dummy beautifully, Leo Barry. Hand pass to McVeigh, putting under some heat though, but he's good enough to it. Bolton from the centre circle, out wide for O'Keefe. The running man waits for it to bounce. Now he's going to try and keep it alive under good pressure. That was a good effort there from Mark Austin, the rookie.
A good speed, Mark Austin. 193 centimetres. Good lump of a lad.
Less than 4 minutes to play, term number 1. Sydney with some work to do. Ablett dispossessed. Now Kirk squeezes a kick.
Clever. That was very clever.
And it runs to Paul Bevan, who gets an open look at the goals. The Swans need a steadier, and he supplies it.
I want to look at this again because I reckon the Matner was a tap on. He knew he was out the back. They had the numbers there. Can we have a look at this? And great play. Terrific hitting away from goals. And the handball by Ablett was to McVeigh, who'd pushed forward. Now, if we have a look at this, I reckon this might have been a tap on. It was very clever by Matner. He's had a good game. It was a Grundy, in fact. Great tap into the path of the voice, really. You've got to have an awareness around you, and I think he did that really well then, Grundy.
Paul Bevan kicks his first goal for 5 weeks, his 8th on the season. It's his first ever here at the Telstra Dome. Carlton with a 16-point lead. 25.5 minutes played in this term, and they're off and running again. Andrew Walker with a bounce, attracted the attention. They look for Cruiser, right there with him, Lewis Roberts-Thompson doing a good job. Betts with Bolton. And an interesting matchup. Walker manhandling him, almost relieving him possession.
It is an interesting matchup because Bolton normally plays tall. He has got good closing speed.
Well, it's a credit to his defensive skills that they would run him at Betts.
Well, it's a credit to Betts that they think he's that important that they put Craig Bolton, probably nearly their best defender, under Eddie Betts.
Jolly wins the free kick. Very animated Darren Jolly it is as well, the experienced campaigner.
You could just see when he grabbed the ball, just slow the tempo down. Let's just get some uncontested marks, control the tempo, get the game back on our terms.
Almost catch our breath. Leo Barry off and running. Handball over the top for Playfair, who drives inside the attacking 50, where Michael O'Loughlin was outnumbered initially. Coming across, Craig Bird almost got in his way. With support, O'Dwyer, the first gamer. What a great tackle. He's holding the ball.
Brendan Favola limping behind play here for Carlton. Let's get down to Lee Colbert down on the boundary line. Just keep an eye on Fev there, Colby.
Yeah, he seems to have hurt his left leg, but he's been in a little bit of pain for a couple of minutes now, and talking to the trainer.
Simpson clears for the Blues. Carazzo.
Young O'Dwyer would love that again. He should have handballed out the back. He tried to kick the goal on his own. He had a play, I think it was Ryan O'Keefe on his own. Just a simple handball out the back. Would have been a great team goal for the youngster.
Inside the last 2 minutes, term number 1. Mark Murphy out to the wing. Had multiple options, but Bevan supplied the contest and then drew an error from Fisher.
He thought he'd given away the free kick then.
It's been important, Bevan. Kicked a goal. Come up with his 5th disposal. Favola coming off the ground, Liam.
They look for Goods right there with him. Gibbs did well against the dual Brownlow medalist. Carazzo measures the pass. Coming strongly, Matner. Fans thought he'd given away a free kick, at least the Carlton fans did. And slung to the ground there, Jared Moore. Carlton are just manhandling the Swans at the moment as we go to Lee Colbert.
Fev has come off the ground, and you can see him there. He's in a little bit of pain at the moment, but the Docs don't seem too concerned, so they'll check his left leg out.
Grigg getting involved to Gibbs, who is stationary. Heath Scotland out wide,
yes,
but Carlton has the numbers, but 2 teammates collide. He stayed down Craig Bird and almost diffused it for the Swans. Fisher
Oh, it's a free kick to Judd.
was looking for Judd. Playfair took him out of the equation illegally. Play on is the call. Scotland in the centre of the ground. O'Loughlin almost running him down. The pass is a good one, though. Mark taken by Jordan Russell.
Just on the ground. It was a great kick to space in the end. Forwards will find the space and they will find the target. You kick the ball to space anywhere in a forward line, the forward normally will be in front. On this occasion, it was Jordan Russell.
Well, he started on the bench, Jordan Russell. And he has kicked 1 goal, 9 this season. Only 2 points last week against the Saints. So 1 goal, 9 either doesn't breathe a lot of confidence into your teammates or you're overdue.
You shouldn't miss this one, though, John. So important coming into quarter time.
Carlton looking for their 5th of the opening term. Right on the siren, Jordan Russell makes no mistake and extends the lead. They'll enjoy a 22-point buffer here at the end of one.
They deserve that lead, Carlton. Full of running. They've taken the game on. That's the game I've liked about it. Carazzo has been terrific. Gibbs, Scotland. We just see Favola there. That's the only light on the game at the moment. Let's hopefully he's back in the second quarter. But fantastic they were, Learn.
They were fantastic, all right, and very amiable. Paul Roos normally mightn't be so happy. John.
No, well, the Swans kicked the first goal of the game, but Carlton enjoy a 22-point lead at quarter time. 5-5, Sydney 2-1. Well, the Young Blues have all the answers at the moment. Quarter time here at the Telstra Dome under the closed roof. 5 goals, 5-35. Sydney 2 goals, 1. And a 4-goal burst in 12 minutes in the middle stages of that term is where Carlton were able to set up this lead. But they did lead by 5 goals to 3 when these teams last met and lost by 62 points. As we go to Lee Colbert, who's with the Swans assistant, Peter Berbakoff.
Pete, it wasn't a great opening term for the Swans. It looked like you were second to the ball on most occasions. I'm sure that's one thing you're trying to rectify at quarter time.
Yeah, you're right, Colby. We were certainly following what they were doing. We know they're a fast starting side, and we just needed to stem the flow, get Goodsy back there and help out, but we certainly need to attack the footy and get some mids touching their hands on the ball.
You look after the back end. Were you surprised Favola playing up the ground?
Yeah, a little bit. They're obviously trying to mix up who they can get as goal scorers, and you know, we weren't watching the footy, gave away a couple of free kicks, and we're probably lucky that they've missed a few goals, so hopefully that helps us out later on in the game, but we certainly need to start attacking the footy.
Thanks, Pete. No worries.
Well, Carlton 22 points in front and deserved that lead as well, Danny, as we take a look at the stats so far.
Yeah, it's all Carlton there. Contested possessions, that what Brett Ratton will be wrapped in. The tackles are fairly even, but Liam, the inside 50s, 14-10, but 71%. That is great scoring efficiency.
Oh, the efficiency is the key here for Carlton. We've seen the free kick count also highlighted 14-5. They got a good run with the umpires. As we saw Brendan Favola go off with what seemed to be a knee problem here, and a bit of a clash, might have even been a hip, but he disappeared up the race, but he's back on the ground.
Underway term number 2, the Blues by 22 points. Bentic lost out there. Kirk gets Sydney going forward. Inside their attacking 50. Trying to track it down, Jared Moore, unsuccessfully. Now he's come up with it. Wrestled to the ground.
Look, I think it was Hartland out in the ground there, Liam. I think Fev's still down the race there. Is that right, Lee Colbert?
Jolly wins the tap. Now Scotland, who's been busy, gave it up though to Adam Goods, who slams it onto the boot. O'Loughlin comes out the target. Did a good job to corral the ball, and running onto the crumbs there. The goal has been kicked by Jude Bolton.
Well, Jude Bolton, Adam Goods importantly getting a possession there. He didn't touch the ball in the first quarter, and he got the quick kick forward, and Bolton was able to push forward and get on the end of it. And look at that, terrific roving. Mentioned Brendan Favola. He's actually not on the ground. Still in the interchange bench. He's running up and down as we speak, but he's okay by the looks of it.
Great start there from Sydney. Paul Roos giving a little bit of a rev at quarter time. They need to win more contested ball. That's what they put their game on. It's their imprimatur. First of the ball.
Lee Colbert.
Sorry, Sputter, I was down the race actually trying to get a chat with Fev during the game, but he was on the bike, and he looks like he's got a little bit of a hip complaint, so got a bit of a kick to the hip, I think.
First goal of the quarter for Sydney, as they did in the opening term as well, and Bolton has them heading forward again. 3-man forward line at the moment. Playfair did it well to trap the ball. Now Bevan, who's been elusive, hands over. O'Keefe shut down. Good defensive work from Mark Murphy. Plenty of time, or found some space as well to drive Carlton out of the danger zone, and now across the line in front of Andrew Walker.
Centre clearances were 4-1 in Carlton's favour in the first quarter, but we've already seen the Swans with Bolton. They're act together here in this early in the second quarter.
Jolly wins the tap. Chris Judd finds it for the Blues though. Hands over to Thornton. Now wants the lead of Fisher. Roberts Thompson right there with him. Good work from Simpson to knock it forward, and Andrew Carazzo goes to work. Not his best effort though, and it's a minor score.
Must nail those goals.
Well, it's the one area of the game, Carazzo, we know he can get the footy. He just needs to work on his finishing. He had time to steady and really should have Done a little bit better there.
Craig Bird, his first possession of the game. Looking for O'Keefe. Pass wasn't the best, though. Bird kept running, though, with a bounce. Judd trying to track him down. Just worried him on the kick at least. And Cameron Cloak drives Carlton back inside their attacking 50. Leo Barry takes the mark, but a free kick is going to Carlton.
Matner will be really disappointed with that, because he must have been aware that Leo Barry was going to come in third man in to help out in that contest. So
it's a good start to the game. Andrew Walker coming back from this shoulder problem. This is his 8th possession. He's already had a couple of inside 50s. Yeah, just a little bit intent on stopping his run there.
Top 10 in the Blues goal kicking last season. From 48 unloads. Fans behind the goals like it, and the Blues get the quick reply.
well, it is a good reply. Andrew Walker, he's missed a fair chunk of the season. Great to see Vivola back out on the ground. That's positive news for Carlton fans, and more importantly, that Matner again, they're trying to play him close to goal. They're really missing Malcheski at the moment, because they need the run of Matner and Kennelly, and sides are going to screw on it and trying to keep them deep.
Oh, that's exactly right. You couldn't have explained it any better there, Spud. They're just going to keep dragging them back and taking them out of the play so they can't run and carry.
Margin to 23, biggest we've seen in the game. We've played a tick over 4 minutes, term number 2. Umpire Ray Chamberlain gets us back underway. Jude Bolton wrapped up in the Murphy tackle, releases the ball. Cameron Cloak farms out the handball. Chance for Simpson to run onto it. Took them all on. Now Bird with Kirk at close quarters. Coming out to greet the ball, O'Loughlin. Jared Moore getting involved as well. And here's Bevan, already a goal kicker in the game, but this time he is off the mark. It's a minor score. Simpson to restart for the Blues. Short pass. Finds Gibbs. Well, at least the Swans are playing the game at a tempo more familiar to them now. Judd couldn't take the mark, but stayed with it. About to be run down. Good recovery from Matner. Kept the pressure on Judd, who now has to look a little deeper. Wait, under pressure. Thornton. Blues going backwards. Carazzo gets beyond Matner and relieves the pressure. Although not for long. Roberts-Thompson against Fisher did well, then coughed it up to Heath Scotland, who had it for a long time. Fisher tackled without it.
He actually did it well there, Fisher. He didn't take possession. He knew the tackle was right on him, and rather than actually taking possession, he just, as it got handballed to him, he just tapped it in front of himself and drew the free kick. He had nowhere to go if he had grabbed it. See the arm across? Didn't even take control. Very clever play.
So Fisher, no one standing the mark, allows him to gallop forward. Favola couldn't take the mark. Betts latches onto it. Bolton right there with him. Did a good job. So did Russell to get a kick away. Now into the pocket. Favola gets one to scurry across the face. He's come up with a miracle.
Hang on.
I'm not sure whether it is a goal.
I think it is. Oh. Who was saying it was touched?
Yeah, I think the central umpire, the boundary umpire, they got together, and one of them, I could hear one of them say touched.
I thought he said, oh, the Swans player said it was touched. Oh, we got our little...
Looks like Luke Abbott touched it.
Yeah, he got a fingernail on it.
Well, the Swans restart. Bolton back for Kennelly, using the corridor. O'Keefe next in line. Bit of movement from Sydney. Kennelly kept running all the way to the wing. Now Goods is the target. Muscles his way forward. Also there Grundy. Wrapped up in a strong tackle by Bryce Gibbs.
Didn't have it.
And a free kick going to Sydney.
Yeah, didn't have it. Held on a bit long. Bevan again. He's looking at the replay. This could be his second goal.
He's kicked 2 goals twice this season, which is his career high, and he's done it for a 3rd time as Sydney eat a little further into the lead.
It's been his best start, best game so far. 9 disposals, 2 goals. See Carazzo still arguing with the umpire, but it's in the scorebook. Need to get on with it. We just see another look at the replay. That is a free kick. Whether he had possession of the ball or not, he drove into the ground after the tackle.
When you're that close to goal, you just can't be that aggressive. There's not a ball in the area at the very least.
Paul Bevan doing a good job at the moment with 2 goals. So the Blues by 17 points. A controversial Brendan Favola incident from the other end. Here's the replay.
Yeah,
you be the judge.
Albert got his right hand on that. Been a little bit of a move too. Adam Goods has pushed forward on Gibbs, and Gibbs has done a fantastic job. 7 disposals to Goods 1.
Grigg with a quick kick out of the congestion. The Blues going forward once more. Chance now for Murphy as he heads to the goal square. Running onto it, Wiggins across the face of goal, a minor score.
Tell you what I'm liking at the moment, Spud, is I'm liking the centre square work. It's an area they got dominated by St Kilda last week. Stephen King first use until Chris Judd decided to take the game on in the last quarter. Very competitive in there today. They've had a terrific start to the game in the area that you'd think Sydney might be able to dominate.
Richards played a tick over 9 minutes, term number 2. And Sydney through Ablett, who finds McVeigh running past Matner. Now Brett Kirk. Goods makes the lead up to the half-forward line.
It's good coaching from Roos, pushing Goods forward on Gibbs.
Hoist it deep, running back with a flight of the ball. Paul Bevan's found it again.
It's very good coaching because Gibbs has been fantastic the first quarter and a half. 7 disposals, Adam Goods 1. All of a sudden, Goods pushes forward, and then Gibbs has to be totally defensive. He's winning a lot of the ball, and there was a great kick from Goods to Paul Bevan.
He's playing game number 81, Paul Bevan, and he's never kicked 3 goals in a single match before. He may have to wait a little longer for that to occur. Slides across the face, a minor score.
It's interesting because Carazzo is such a ball magnet that Bevan's obviously playing as a bit of a defensive forward, but because he's kicked 2 goals, he now really should have had 3. He's becoming a worry for Carlton.
So the Blues through Michael Jamison. Up to the wing, out on the strong lead was Wiggins. Couldn't take the mark, going off the ground. Cameron Clogan out on the full.
Just low percentage. When you're a metre from the boundary line, you know, the kick in mid-air is just a hit and hope, really. The best bet is to put your head over it, take the tackle and take it out of bounds.
Grundy takes the mark unopposed, but we're going back. Umpire Matt Stevick is a school teacher by day, just making sure everyone's on the right line. Swans slowing the game down at the moment. They're down by 17 points. Jamison went past the ball. Now Jared Waite keeping it alive on the boundary line, although his disposal lets him down. O'Keefe has it again. He's got Michael O'Loughlin all alone. Couldn't find him initially. Crowded forward line confronts him now. A contest. Grundy supplies the fist. Carazzo runs onto the loose ball. Short pass, not 15. Simpson did well under the circumstances, but Kirk did even better. McVeigh. Backward handball. The Swans through O'Dwyer. Jude bolted. Back to the rookie. He fires deep. Bevan the target again. And this time, strong fist on the ball coming from Heath Scotland.
They've made a change there, Heath Scotland on Bevan. And Bevan will be happy to walk in back to the goal square. Have a look at the contested possessions here. 4 out of the top 5 are all Carlton players, with Judd leading with 6.
Everett, a good second effort, went to O'Loughlin, running onto the ball. Luke Ablett can't draw it back enough, a minor score.
He's only had 6 touches, and every one of them been contested. He want to start getting a few easy ones at some stage. It's going to be a pretty long year if he has to win his own footy every time. He needs his teammates to help him out, just a fraction. Give him a couple of handball receives.
Even good protection, just off the ball. Open up the gap between himself and Kurt.
Simpson rebounding off the half-back line. Lewis Roberts-Thompson going hard has given away the free.
I think that's the next level for Carlton to do that, you know, and they're a young team. You look at Geelong, Gary Ablett gets a hell of a lot of work and help from his teammates to try and break that tag.
You need it. Well, you don't want your best ball winner, you know, one of the best players in the competition, getting his body bashed because he has to get at the bottom of every pack to get his kicks.
Craig Bolton all over the back there of Bentick, now out of bounds.
Because your point was right, Lamb. 6 disposals, 6 contested possessions. Normally the ratio is about 35%. He's going at 100%.
Cruiser at the back.
There he is again. You see Kurt right with him, but again, there'll be another contested possession.
Finds out their handball, running onto it, Simpson. Blues pressing once more, Betts. Well, not beyond him. Tight in the pocket, nurses it to the goal square for Vola, the target. Richards knocks it through, but a free kick to the Blues.
I think the height factor there, Leo Barry, like having another look, I thought it was nearly a free kick. Leo's just sitting on the ground saying, well, I'm not quite sure, umpire, but you see the secondary. Nothing there.
Not watching the ball, nothing there still.
Well, the margin back to 22 points. That's where we started this term.
Well, the umpire's trying to explain the reason. I think it's because he didn't have his eyes on the ball. He had his eyes on Favola. You've still got to infringe. Now, that's not a free kick there. Fev's trying to get the umpire to... Okay. Oh, he had a little stretch in the jumper. Little stretch. He had help coming. Ted Richards was coming with the third man up. I would have thought that was a fraction soft for a free kick.
Well, the Blues have kicked 3 of their 7 goals from free kicks, and the free kick count at the moment 18-6 in favour of Carlton, but they're being first to the ball.
Ooh, 3 times as many free kicks.
There wasn't a lot in that one for mine.
No, that would have been played.
Member of the fullbacks club.
Everett wins the tap. Here's Kieran Jack handing over to Jude Bolton, who was taken high.
Maybe we thought they were going to let the game go, but a lot of free kicks being called early this match.
O'Keefe looking for O'Loughlin. Good fist.
It was a good fist, and they're winning the sprawls, Carlton, 14-7, but the kick from O'Keefe, they're just off the money a bit with their ball use. Normally that kick from O'Keefe is lace out and there's more grass, more area for O'Loughlin to run onto. Had to stop and prop, made it easy for Jamieson to spoil.
Good body work from Cruiser. Got it down to Nick Stevens. Now Jared Waite as the Blues again on the rebound. Getting involved, Russell hands over to Bentick, but his pass is a poor one. Roberts-Thompson plays on quickly to O'Keefe. Jared Moore off a step. O'Loughlin leads the charge once more.
Support though, Carlton. They've got support everywhere here.
And again, Jamieson was equal to the challenge there. Waite in traffic. Disposal set Cameron Cloak a task here against multiple opponents, but he was able to bang it a little further up the ground. Blues keep running.
Good protection, Russell on Bird.
Found Murphy, and now Favola.
That was sensational there, Lamb. Great run from Murphy. I'm sure we'll get to see it later on, but that was a fantastic bit of protection from Jordan Russell. Bird just about had Murphy, and it was a great lead from Favola.
Well, it's working twice because he's playing on Kennelly. It was just out of the corner of the screen. It was a great kick into space from Murphy. But you're right, Russell's playing a negative role on Kennelly, much like Bevan's playing on Scotland at the moment.
Fev going for the lead. Couldn't find Simon Wiggins. Lewis Roberts-Thompson back for Everett, who looks out wide for O'Keefe, who takes the mark.
Sure why didn't just settle and have a shot then. That's his range. A great build-up. It's a beautiful kick.
Matner was thinking short, now elects to go a little deeper to find Henry Playfair, who leads Gibbs to the ball. McVeigh, well, a high kick. Didn't do the rookie Matt O'Dwyer any favours there. Centering kick, Cloak. With support running past from Scotland. A nice measured pass again, and the loose man running back this time. Wiggins has taken the mark.
Well, it's not Peter Everett's man. He did well to try and get back there and help the Swans' defence, but in the turnovers are crucial here.
There's his man. Cloakwood and Cruiser both on the ground.
Well, Wiggins having a good season in front of goal. A career best 7 on the season, 7-3 in fact, and goals in 6 of his 9 games, but that may be his worst effort of 2008.
He knows it too. Been important. Hartlett, Wiggins have been important players to take the focus solely off Favola, because they do tend to direct the ball to Favola far too much.
And there was no doubt that was Matner's man, Wiggins. Matner's so intent on trying to get up the ground and get some run, he's forgot about his defensive aspect and trying to man up Wiggins.
Well, the Blues with all the answers at the moment. Less than 9 minutes out from half-time. Scotland hands over to Nick Stevens. Just his 4th disposal. And again, they found an open man, and it was Jared Waite ghosting down from the back line.
You're right. Luke Abbott's pretty good job on Nick Stevens, only the 4 disposals. But again, that's just hard running from Jared Waite. Started the game pushing forward. A very good match up there. Ablett normally gets the opposition, one of the best on ballers.
The goal kicker last week against the Saints, Jared Waite, made his debut against the Swans round 1 2003 in game number 100. He kicks the goal.
Well, it's a great run by Jared Waite. You mentioned it earlier, Spuddy. He started the game off really herring off from half-back, getting involved, and he's still doing it. And the run of the Carlton defence, and their ball use today has been very good. They kick the space a lot. They've actually kicked to advantage a lot, which, you know, sometimes I suppose with a young team you tend to just kick the ball on players' heads, but he kicked to the space. He made Waite run into it, and a very good finish by Jared Waite. They've opened up a nice little buffer here.
He kicked 28 goals last season to be top 3 at Carlton. It's only number 5 in 2008 after switching to the defence. But they have doubled the score of Sydney here, and we've played 19.5 minutes in term number 2. Sydney attacking once more, unable to take the mark there. Mark Austin, and now a chance running onto it for Henry Playfair, and the Swans needed that.
Clever goal there from Playfair. He was a banana in the end, really, and it was fantastic. That was the key, though, the centre clearance.
That worked.
Just starting to get on top in the contested side of the game. I know they're behind the Swans, but they're starting to win a little bit of the ball. Their ball used a hell of a lot better. That was a great option in the end, because if he had to try to square it around the other way, he would have hooked it. So he's gone the outside of the ball, the banana. Very good goal.
Tenth goal of the season for Henry Playfair in his 10th game of 2008. Into time on term number 2. Carlton by 22 points. That's where we started this term. Jolly back into the ruck, wins the tap. Jude Bolton got front position, and the Swans are off and running to the forward line. Bevan farms out the handball. Jolly from the ruck. Jewel got down there quickly, leaves it for Ryan O'Keefe, and Sydney have kicked back-to-back goals for the first time today.
And we start from Jude Bolton. He's got the last 2 centre clearances, and you just sense Sydney are going to keep coming at Carlton. They just need to keep competing, the Blues. Get the ball in there quickly to the forward line. Young Carlton defence there. Bevan's had a super first half. You see Jolly run over the top of the ball. O'Keefe say, OK, you're the ruckman. I'm the half forward. I'll grab the ball and kick a very good goal there.
Well, Jude Bolton doing a great job. O'Keefe for the finishing touches. He's kicked goals in 9 of his last 10 games, O'Keefe. In the absence of Barry Hall, expected to shoulder a little more of their offensive output. Again, Ablett.
Another clearance, John.
O'Keefe looking to run onto it. Walker did a good job to keep him at bay initially. Now chance for Mark Murphy. Took a long time deciding what he was going to do with it. Knockdown taking the kick, but no whistle forthcoming. Judd in strongly. Kirk never far away.
Must have been the secondary action from McVeigh, and 50 for arguing. Oh, well, this gives him a chance for a shot on goal now. Little Ray Chamberlain.
I reckon we look at the replay. This was a terrible free kick. Well, have a look at Murphy when he kicks the ball. And he just, nothing much in that. Gee whiz. And this next one, well, Chris Judd to finish here.
They've had the rub of the green, the Blues.
Well, they've had 20 free kicks in the first half.
Judd looking to extend the lead. Already a goal kicker today. Off the boot, gets it home, and the margin back to 22 points.
Only had the 8 disposals, Chris Judd. He's had to earn every one of those disposals, but he's kicked 2 goals. And that's the beauty of the Super Star. We just see the free kick.
That's a push in the back, it was called then.
No, that's a ball.
That hurts, a free kick like that. And then, of course, they bemused the players, so they have a bit to say about why it was a free kick. And the result is a 50-metre penalty to a champion player who just doesn't miss those opportunities.
And the correct decision should have been a stoppage on the wing.
With a 4th goal for Carlton from a free kick this afternoon, 4 of their 9. Judd with his 2nd. His season high is 3 goals in a game coming back in round 5.
19-8 free kick count.
Jolly did well, winning the tap. McVeigh going nowhere. Judd almost relieved him of it. 6.5 minutes left until half-time.
No comment, Danny, on that?
Well, look, I think about 12 or 13 have definitely been there, but there's no doubt Carlton have had the rub of the green, let's face it.
Jolly again, decisively, looking for Goods, who went to ground. Ablett over the top of Nick Stevens, who remains down. Blues get the ball. Cameron Cloak didn't do a lot with it, though. Jordan Russell steams onto it. Now Carazzo measures the pass, going back. Fisher couldn't finish the mark. Eddie Betts lurking dangerously around the body. It floats home.
What a goal. We just see Nick Stevens there. That's positive news there for Blues. We just see put his head over the ball.
Yeah, he's landed on it.
Yeah, Luke Ablett sort of landed on his shoulder there. But Brett Radley wrap with that. He's trying to win the hard ball. And then we see the goal here. Well, this is just a classic front and square goal. Good contest there from Fisher and Bolton. But there's Eddie Betts. Just turns the ball around for a fantastic front and square goal.
4th consecutive week that Eddie Betts has been a goal kicker. The Blues have 8 separate goal kickers so far today. And the margin out to a game-high 28 points.
Competing hard here, Cameron Cloak. He's competing hard. Certainly Sydney have held the honours. We see Adam Goods on the bench. He's had 2 touches in the first half. Bryce Gibbs has been all over him this afternoon. They've tried to push him forward, push him back. Just can't get the footy at the minute. And I'm not sure what he was doing the last time he went for the ball. He slid to the ground and went straight past him. So he's just lacking confidence at the minute, Adam Goods. But going to write those champions off. Sure he'll have a big impact in the second half.
And that's going to be the key for Carlton's game in the second half. They've been the best team in the first half, no doubting that. But we know the Swans will keep coming.
Oh, they will. They've had a good quarter at the centre square, but their ball use of Carlton, they've gone inside 50. Their efficiency has just continued.
Carazzo drives Carlton forward once more. Wiggins couldn't take the mark. Grigg with 2 to beat. Lost control of it. Ted Richards taken on by Favola.
He's tackled really well today, Favola. The tackle counts 25 to Carlton, 27 to Sydney. So even though they're getting beat on the tackle count, it's the forward tackles that Brett Ratton would be wrapped with in this first half.
Cloak getting into the back of his opponent goes unwhistled. On hands and knees, Murphy knocks it out again. Jared Moore is there looking for Kennelly. Had to be precise and wasn't great. Simpson working it onto the advantage of Russell, who goes to work, but it's a minor score.
Liam, Lee Colbert interviewed Brett Ratton before the game. He said the blueprint of the Swans of the last couple of weeks, there's no doubting, without Malcheski, the run, even though Kennelly and Mattner have had a little bit of the ball, they've been rushed. They've had defensive-type players, and Russell and Wiggins on those 2 boys.
They've done it really well, and they just keep putting dangerous players. And the players that are playing on the likes of Mattner and Kennelly are getting dangerous. They're getting to dangerous positions, which means they can't just sag off them and try and get those switcher plays and and the run and carry that you can get sometimes through the corridor by having some space.
And there's more evidence of it there as Adam Hartlett just took the time and space away.
Well, that's a huge win. Bit of the ball going around the wing. Now the ball up in a dangerous area for Carlton.
Jolly wins the tap for Ablett. In traffic, though, and running back into it. Loose ball, dangerously positioned. Jude Bolton overran it. Here's Leo Barry muscling his way through the congestion. Craig Bolton got it to Jude Bolton, but he coughed it up. Labour-intensive work from the Sydney Swans at the moment. Kennelly out wide, and he finds the run of O'Dwyer. O'Loughlin, quick hands, found Ryan O'Keefe, and he measures the pass, and the mark taken down low by Henry Playfair.
O'Loughlin did really well there. He hasn't had quality supply in the first half. Mickey O.
Big Henry, you can get him to go a little bit helicopter-like.
And a goal kicker already in this term, Playfair.
He has worked hard.
Very tight angle. That wobbles forward to the near side and a minor score.
They like him in their side because of his work rate and his second efforts. Big Henry Playfair. He's already kicked the goal this quarter, as you said, John. You need to finish off with a bit of run here. As we see the Blues, it seems to be a little trick that everyone's got. Let's just play a bit of tempo footy, hold it up.
Cade Simpson restarts for Heath Scotland.
And if other players weren't aware of it, Heath Scotland grabs the ball and holds it in the air.
I think you'd reckon someone would come up with a different trick. I think just to hold the ball in the air.
Judd.
Maybe scratch your ear or something like that.
Scotland. More than 29 minutes played, term number 2. And the Blues trying to break the shackles out of the defence. Scotland attacked by O'Keefe. Good tackle. Eddie Betts. Quick hand pass over the top. Grundy is there for Sydney. Coughed it up quickly. Well, Carlton have just continued to make this ball go in their direction at the moment any way that they can. Stevens again looking for Walker. Confronted strongly by Roberts Thompson. Fisher round the body. Sydney with numbers. Craig Bolton. Now O'Keefe.
This is a great run by Kennelly. Really is.
Ball sits for him kindly as well, and the man from County Kerry is off with a bounce. Looking to centre it. Interesting kick, strong body from Kieran Jack.
Great contest all around there. Jared Waite made him earn that.
Good awareness as well from Jack as he finds McVeigh.
It's what happens when you're holding the ball up and you're trying to milk the clock against sides like the Swans. They immediately know when they go into tempo mode, that suits them. Yeah, all right, well, we'll make a contest. We'll hope that your skills let you down. All of a sudden, there were Blues players from Sydney. Great run by Kennelly. And what I like about Kennelly when he runs, he always looks inside. He always looks for the player loose inside.
McVeigh kicked 2 goals against Carlton the last time they played. We've crossed the 30-minute mark here of term number 2. The Blues with a 28-point lead. And McVeigh, good distance, never looked like missing.
Your point was correct, Lane. There's no doubting that. The run of Ty Kennelly. How's he look down there, Lee Colbert?
Yeah, mate, he's definitely blowing ultra hard, Ty, but he did run 150 metres flat out to receive that ball and then hit Kieran Jack inside.
You're going to keep coming, Sydney. There's no doubting that. We just see Jared Waite and Bird. That was a great contest there. McVeigh, it's a tagging role, but he normally pops up for a couple of goals. Very important when you are tagging to play an offensive type role.
.31 minutes played in the second quarter. And we are back to where we started this term with Carlton leading by 22 points. Cloak decisively. It comes back to Sydney though. Bevan getting it out quickly to Jude Bolton, who looks for O'Loughlin, wearing him like a glove. Jamison. Sydney still with a chance. Kieran Jack quickly onto the boot, wobbles it to the half-forward line. Ted Richards took front position, down from the back line, pinned in the corner, brings it back to the hot spot, and the mark has been taken.
Here he is again.
Team kick, though. That was a magnificent kick to the top of the square. Could have blazed away. Jared Waite looks a little bit hurt down the boundary line. Richards and Thornton having a go at each other. But that was a great team kick. A real dangerous spot. If you know you're going to kick it there, you'll get there as a player, and McVeigh was right on the right spot.
McVeigh, a multiple goal kicker in 7 games this year, does it again. That's 2 in a minute for the Swans.
Well, it's hard to have sympathy for the Blues on this one. With 3 minutes 30 or whatever it was on the clock, they started holding the ball up. They turned it over at their own half forward. Swans took it down the other end and got a goal. They've now got another one. McVeigh's pushed forward twice as we see that. Kicking, you know, that's just a great kick. I mean, they always think team, Sydney. They're well coached. They're coached to think team.
And that was magnificent play, but at that stoppage, McVeigh was there, so he just pushed forward, and he just assumed that Playfair was going to get the ball to the spot, and he did.
Less than a minute to play until the major break. McVeigh joins Bevan as a multiple goal kicker for the Sydney Swans. Judd and Favola in that category for Carlton. As Everett wins the tap.
Another centre square clearance.
Kieran Jack kicked it to O'Loughlin, who was outnumbered though. Dragged off the kick by Jamison, who's done an excellent job.
He must have got a toe on it, O'Loughlin, because it would have been dropping the ball normally.
Kirk.
Carlton have put an extra behind the ball now, so Brett Ratton's aware that the last thing he needs is for Sydney to kick another goal before half-time.
Less than 30 seconds remaining until half-time.
Good vision.
Blues
Great
going
vision.
forward. Judd tries to break the tackle. It was a good one from Jude Bolton. Eddie Betts with the crumbs. Now into the forward pocket. Trying to weave some magic here. Walker off the ground. Mark taken by Peter Everett.
We talk about the centre square, and we worried about it before the game. 8-2 out of the centre this quarter in favour of Sydney.
Well, a very entertaining first half from the Telstra Dome concludes. Carlton holding sway throughout the first half, and at the major break they'll enjoy a 16-point lead. So good fight back from Sydney. The Blues led by as many as 29 during the second term, but at halftime it's Carlton 10-9, Sydney 8-5. Set to go term number 3 from the Telstra Dome. The roof is closed. The Blues lead by 16 points. They're looking for their 8th win of the season, remembering they won just 4 last year. Ablett out of mid-air, has it heading in Sydney's direction, but not for long, as Cameron Cloak gets back and Carlton will look to clear. Out to the wing. Well, the bounce didn't favour Andrew Walker there. And a chance for Heath Grundy, the late inclusion following the withdrawal of Nick Malcheski.
Jared Waite's been, we talked about O'Keefe at half-time, 14 disposals. Jared Waite's had 13. Really surprised if he's been able to go with O'Keefe, but he's played it smart. When O'Keefe's gone up the ground, he's held back.
Cloak work to the front spot. Not a lot happening though.
Because we know O'Keefe, he's a power endurance runner. Like, he's one of the best runners in the competition. And we're getting to see Jared Waite now playing on those types.
He needs to, really, because he's probably the most important player on the Sydney forward line without Barry Hall. Ryan O'Keefe is. So, I mean, you'd expect him to go to him.
Jolly did that well to find Jude Bolton. O'Loughlin getting goal side of his opponent, Jamison here. But Jamison's been tremendous all day, but Sydney's still with a chance. O'Keefe goes off the ground on cue, and the Swans get the first of the second half.
We give Jared a little bit of a rap there, and the hard running from Ryan O'Keefe. That stoppage was here. They were both on the wing. He just had too much wheels. Too many wheels for Jared Waite in that situation there. We just see the hard running, see Jared Waite trailing in. That's great play.
I tell you what, again, Bolton, the go-to man at the stoppage. They hit it into space, hit backwards, and they need to really make that a 50-50 job. But you can't hit it into space with the player to run onto it facing goals, which is what happened to get the ball inside 50 in the first place.
19 goals for the season now for Ryan O'Keefe.
Starting to get a lot of scores from stoppages, Sydney. That's their strength. Second quarter, they start to assert themselves. Worrying signs here for the Blues.
Margin back to 10. Hasn't been in single figures since the opening term, and Sydney with another clearance. Up to centre half forward. Goods couldn't find it. There's Jared Waite. Handball out, Andrew Walker. First game of the season after injuring his shoulder against the Western Bulldogs in a practice match. Jude Bolton easily to Leo Barry. Wants to take on Favola. Gets away. Here's Kirk. Favola closing again. Leo Barry did that well. The awareness to have Ted Richards available. Now O'Loughlin.
That's better. That's better for Michael O'Loughlin. He's led pretty well all day, but he's had a lot of ball kicked at his ankles and finally gets one on the chest.
Wants to give it off, though, and out strongly here, Vay.
And this is also a very good move from Paul Roos. Scotland just about their leading possession getter with 15. All of a sudden now got a half defensive type role on Scotland, and McVeigh's starting to hurt him on the scoreboard.
Bolt involved again. Jude Bolt, he's won 8 contested possessions today out of his 15 touches.
McVeigh kicked the last 2 goals of term number 2 for the Sydney Swans. His career best is 3. That's going across the face, though, and not through for a minor score.
Favola there looks a bit proppy. It was a good chase, actually, from half back. And he put the big heavy bump on Brett Kirk. That's what I like about Kirk. He's happy to take the body. He's happy to take the pressure that's coming rather than just cough the ball up. He knew that Favola was coming. I'll take the bump and handball at the same time.
Well, I think Favola's obviously got a corky because it was just a hit. It was an innocuous hit, but if you've got a corky and a bruise, Liam, obviously if you keep hitting that spot, it starts to bleed a bit.
It's up near his hip, I believe.
Jamison to the wing. Jolly read it better than anyone. Now squares the ball. Kirk for the run of Matner. Driving deep. Going back, O'Keefe with the flight of the ball. Couldn't take the mark. Jamison there for Carlton. To Carazzo. Wrapped up in a strong tackle by Jared McVeigh. Ball spills clear, but not for long.
Lee Colbert, how's Favola moving down there, mate?
Yeah, not particularly well, and that's probably due to half-time because he's obviously gone in, cooled down, and now he's going to take a little bit to warm up.
Jolly to Jude Bolton for O'Keefe, who sprays it.
That was a let-off there for Jared Wade again. We've been really good on Jared Wade. You can't allow O'Keefe to get goal side.
But Scotland didn't take his run. He needed, even if you're facing goals the other way, have you got you back to your goals? You can't let a player as good as O'Keefe have a clear run at the goals. You just let him run past him in the finish.
Gibbs looking for Walker. Free kick going against Ted Richards.
But then you also had Jared Waite involved in the stoppage. He was right in the middle and allowed O'Keefe from the outside.
There's ball watching.
Well, Matner doing a good job there to create the contest against Gibbs, and now out of bounds.
That will be the big concern at the minute here for Brett Ratt. Not only at the centre square, it's this sort of situation. You look at the numbers here, you would expect, you know, this is a 50-50 situation, but the way it's been going, they've been getting out into space here.
And Jolly's starting to get on top as well, farming the ball. 5.5 minutes played since half-time. Margin at 8.
It's all over, Judd.
Here's Jolly taken down. And umpire Matt Stevick in again.
Not sure if you heard that. If you hear that in the background, the umpire said, just watch Ted Richards facing Andrew Walker. So I'll be really interested to see whether they do anything about this.
Jolly to Kirk once more, and they're off and running through the agency of Kieran Jack with a bounce. Well-weighted kick for Bevan to run onto. Couldn't stretch out to take the mark. Works around the body, bouncing ball. A minor score.
Another let-off there. No doubting since quarter time. The clearance count is 8 to Carlton, 16 to Sydney. A little bit of a worry there for Brett Ratt and the midfielders.
Problem is they've got space goal side, and they need to have someone even in a sweeping position at those boundary throw-ins and the bounce downs around the centre of the ground.
Well, this is as close as Sydney have been since the 15-minute mark of term number 1. They've got the momentum. Cloak's kick cut out there by his opposite number, Jolly.
There'll be players free everywhere here for Sydney now.
O'Keefe tried to nurse it over the top and finds Playfair. Plays on. Jared Moore, handball over Bevan, the man in the square. Jared McVeigh kicks the goal. It's a 1-point lead for Carlton.
Huge turnover there, Cameron Clark. That's a 2-goal turnaround. Carlton haven't been inside their forward 50 this quarter. We see the turnover from Clark, inexcusable. Kicks it to his direct opponent in Jolly, and there's going to be players free all over again. We see the chain of free players here. Moore over to Bevan, and then McVeigh in the goal square. Nothing those defenders can do. It started from Cameron Clark. He runs straight off the ground. He'd be disappointed. He's on the phone.
Well, the Sydney Swans have kicked the last 4 goals, and that man, Jared McVeigh, has 3 of them.
Lee Cole, did Cloak come off because of a change or just because of that turnover?
Oh, I think it might have been the turnover, Spud. I think he just got sent signal straight to the bench.
Free kick to the Swans. It's all going their way.
And that's where you don't want to have a turnover. 10 metres from the bench.
Ablett
Pretty easy to take.
drives Sydney forward once more. O'Loughlin on the end of it. Well, Sydney are on fire at the moment.
Well, it's the stoppages. It's the working close. And when you play against Sydney, you've just got to be mentally stronger for longer. You know that Sydney are going to play 4 quarters of football, of hard, contested footy. Carlton on top for a quarter and a half in that area. All of a sudden now, Sydney, they play 4 quarters of this type of footy.
Well, it's their foot soldiers are all on top. Jude Bolton, McVeigh, Ablett, Kirk, all playing very well.
O'Loughlin's overdue as well. Measured approach, but that's sliding across the face, and that will be knocked through for a minor score, and the scores are level.
Well, this quarter, the possession count is 31 Sydney, 10 to Carlton. They just can't get a handle on the ball at the moment, the Blues. Inside 50s, 6-0 Sydney's way.
All Sydney at the moment. Unable to take the mark, Hartlett. Good second effort, though. Murphy in on the boundary line. Now with some space to work into is Carazzo. Not a lot on offer at the moment. Kick for distance. Favola outnumbered almost 3-1. Ball comes to ground. Lewis Roberts-Thompson with Matner. Well, they're swarming at the moment, Sydney. Up and about. Full of confidence. Looking for Everett. No one inside the attacking 50 for Sydney. No one on the mark either, so Everett can lope forward. Now play fair. Goal side of his opponent, Austin. Comes again. Moore, taken high, will win the free kick. Oh, it's all one-way traffic at the moment. And a 50-metre penalty against the Blues as well, just to make this a certainty for Sydney. Well, they've kicked 5 goals in the last 14 minutes, bracketed across half-time, and Sydney are in front for the first time since the opening quarter.
Well, it's shut the gate at the minute, the way that the Blues are playing. They need to find some leadership. They need to find a lift. They need to start winning their own footy. They need to start getting their hands on the footy. You know, all this sort of stuff here. He won the free kick because he wanted the ball more. There were 3 Carlton players there. Moore just wanted it a bit more than the Wade, Thornton. I can't think of the other player was there. It wasn't against Jared Wade. It was against the first one. And it's been all. I just can't get the handle on the footy in this quarter. Good little player, Moore.
Well, Jared Moore has been one of the success stories this season for the Swans. Played only 2 games last year. He's played every match this year, and that's goal number 13 for him on the season. Cruiser winning the tap for Carlton. McVeigh, quick hands to Peter Everett in traffic. Retreats, Luke Ablett. Swans go forward again. O'Loughlin out strongly. Dane Jamison there, keeping him honest, has done a good job. Scotland breaks 1 tackle. Now measures the pass. Had to go back with courage there, Murphy.
Got Gibbs in the middle.
Uses him now. And Gibbs, well, his pass to Favola. And a free kick against Leo Barry.
There's great body use from Brendan Favola. And Leo's saying, all I did was lean into him. There was terrific protection of the area where the ball was going to bounce, land from Brendan Favola. Great forward play. Just have a look, good use of the body.
I think there was a hold earlier. It's not quite captured on that angle. I think he had a stretch of the jumper again. Otherwise, again, it looked a little bit on the softer side, fair to say. They need this just to stem the flow a bit.
Well, the Blues haven't kicked a goal for 22 minutes. Favola breaks the drought, and we are back on level terms.
Started from young Murphy, good contested mark, good courage. Needed someone to step up. You see Favola there, kicked his 3rd goal. Got the ball moving quickly into Gibbs, down to Favola. Look, in the scheme of things, it may have been a free kick. We'll have another look. Well, that's just tiggy touch work. There's no hands in the back. It's a bit of grappling.
You see that Favola was just in front of that contest was Goods. Gibbs took the mark uncontested in the centre because Goods pushed down to try and help out in defence.
Let's go down to Lee Colbert.
Ryan O'Keefe just came off the ground, limped off. He's actually just rolled his right ankle, so he's come off. Looks like he'll be okay. He'll put his boot back on, and hopefully for him, he'll be able to get up and going again.
You just saw it, Colby. It was innocuous. He was just running, jogging on the spot.
He tripped over a bit of grass. I'm sure he'll be okay.
Cruiser wins the tap for Carlton once more, does his own roving as well. Kieran Jack couldn't find it. Chance for Fisher.
Out here.
Gibbs.
They're playing through Adam Goods' man at the minute.
Looking for Favola, out strongly, couldn't take the mark. Leo Barry to clean up with the support of McVeigh. Doing it at both ends of the ground, McVeigh. Kennelly, quick hands. And now they find Jared Moore once more. They've got loose men out wide on both wings. Jared Moore elected to stay with the ball. And now looking for O'Loughlin up the centre was the best option.
He's getting quality supply now, Mickey O.
What happened was Jamison lost body contact, and yeah, the good forwards read the ball so quickly. He just lost him at the right time and got in front, and bang. It was a great kick, but he really should have had arm across then when the ball was within about 20 metres. Instead, by then he'd already got front position.
Not a big day by his standards for Michael O'Loughlin. And continues to be that way.
What's the only area they're not dominating this quarter? 5 behinds this quarter, the Swans.
Well, Chris Judd hasn't touched the ball in this quarter either.
Let's have a look at the run up here of Michael O'Loughlin. Just a little stammer there.
He's lost that. Look at him.
Yeah,
Not happy with the grass either.
Lost his footing on purchase.
Well, there's a few players been slipping over. We saw O'Keefe roll an ankle just jogging along, basically. So it looks perfect from this angle.
Had some wear and tear, though, the third game in 3 days.
A little bit slippery around the boundary line when we were doing our pre-game show.
Approaching the 15-minute mark of the third quarter, and the Blues trail by a point.
This is quite unbelievable. 13 possessions to Gibbs. As I say, they're using him now as the go-to player. Adam Goods has had 2 touches.
How's he running down there, Lee Colbert, to you, Adam Goods? Because Gibbs seems to be just pushing off him far too easily.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He's just stopped working, Goodsy, and it's unlike him, but Carlton have been very smart. They've, as you called, they're using Bryce Gibbs in as much as they can, and here they go again almost. But
Cruiser missed the target. Paul Bevan has the ball. Now the Swans rushing forward.
I'm not sure whether it's directed from Paul Roos or not, but you're right. Goods is rolling off Gibbs at the wrong time.
Well, it's like he's trying to get down to defence and help out to get himself in the game. He's
First game of Matt O'Dwyer, his 6th disposal, and he finds O'Loughlin.
He looks proppy, Mickey O.
Got Jolly pushing deep.
Goods is pushed forward too.
O'Loughlin using the left leg there, trying to find the short target, unable to do so. Carlton relieve the pressure. Tremendous work from Walker.
Hit the ground running. That was sensational.
Took them on, wobbles it forward. Matner took them on. It was Heath Grundy. Nick Stevens wrapped up in the tackle. Taken down by Craig Bird, who emerged with the ball as well. Grundy again. For Kennelly.
Look at the pressure
Can't
Kennelly's
find
under.
it. Jordan Russell there. Now the Blues go to work, and the mark taken by Favola. Plays on quickly over the top, and the finishing touches are supplied here by Adam Hartlett. His first goal of the season.
This is a great game of football now. Andrew Walker, that was athleticism at its best. You see him take the mark over Ablett, hits the ground, running, has a little bit of a slip. You see Kennelly, every time he looks like getting the ball, Russell's there, a lot of Carlton players around there, well drilled on the Kennelly and Matner set plays from Sydney, and they're all over those two boys when they get the ball to make sure if they do get a possession, it's a scrappy one.
The problems for Michael O'Loughlin down at the bench, Lee Colbert.
it looks like he's jarred his knee when he had that shot at goal, and he's come off and just spoke to the club doctor and just lost his footing and hurt his knee.
17 minutes played since half-time. Peter Everett on all fours. So too his fellow ruckman Cameron Cloak.
The centre bounces, Everett is getting right over the top of Cameron Cloak there.
It's a big game for Everett. There's been a little bit of heat on Peter Everett's performances. I think his work, certainly at the centre square, has been good.
Again, putting his body in, Mark Austin.
Just need to break it up a little bit around these stoppages, Carlton. I know there's a goal in front on the scoreboard, but just the third man up now and again, just to break it up.
Fisher comes through strongly. Quick kick out of the congestion by Jude Bolton. Jared Moore in traffic, took them on. Fan Jude Bolton once more. He's taken down solidly. Carlton fans thought he was holding the ball.
I understand why.
Quick kick forward for Sydney. Bounce it in favour O'Dwyer. Scotland with the support of Jamison up to the wing. Cloak couldn't find it. Goods running away from the ball here. And that allows Cade Simpson marching forward to Favola.
Played it. Played the mark.
You're right with Goods running away from the ball. If you're going to go back and help your defence impact the contest, he was caught in two minds then whether to go at the ball carrier or get back and help the player on Brendan Favola, which is Leo Barry. We just see Goods there. He's running back, but it's too late. You've got to make the decision a hell of a lot earlier than what he did there.
Well, I think he needs to start going and getting the footy, because at the moment, you're right, he's trying to get in to help out, maybe get behind and get a couple of possessions in the back 50, but he really just needs to be used as a player to link up through.
3 goals, 2 so far today for Brendan Favola. The Blues with a 5-point edge. Approaching the 19-minute mark of term number 3. It's good off the boot. The Blues have another.
I will say this, Spud, was when I challenged and it looked like all Sydney, they couldn't get the ball inside their forward 50. To their credit, they're still a very young team. Without any influence from Judd in this quarter at all, they've been able to, through some very good efforts around the ground. Now, on that occasion, Big Cloak got involved and the kick from Simpson was a beauty. They've got themselves back and the momentum switched again.
It's no doubt. I'd put Adam Goods to full forward now. With Mickey O'Loughlin off the ground, put Adam Goods to full forward. And at least if you get through disposals, get 2 goals out of him.
Sydney kicked the first 3 goals of the term. Carlton the last 3 as we go to Lee Colbert.
They certainly have got their problems, the Sydney Swans, on the bench, because Mickey O's come off with an ankle. He's had it re-strapped also. And this is where he's done it. He's landed and just caught the ground. And as you can see there, he's in a fair bit of pain. The other one is O'Keefe. He's gone up the race to have a jab on his right ankle.
Ventic has Carlton on the attack again. Grundy lost control of it. Matner wrapped up. Into time on in the third quarter. Carlton lead by 11 points.
Tell you what, no wonder you're a coach, Danny Frawley. You've asked for Goods to go forward. He's pushed back there. Now he's pushing back in the midfield because Carlton got a loose player in defence. But he has gone forward and taken Gibbs with him.
Hot footy at the moment. Jumping in strongly there, Eddie Betts.
Well, I think that's smart from Paul Roos because...
See this though. This is good play by Gibbs. Now we'll play. I'm going to go and get dangerous here. You're going to have to come with me here, Adam Goods. I like it for a young player.
And Gibbs now running off Goods and trying to attract him as well. Swinging the ball around Murphy. Carlton have kicked 4 goals in 8 minutes.
This is fantastic play from Carlton, and you see Murphy running off the ground. I'm going to give Carlton away. I've got to be honest. I thought Sydney were just going to really up the ante and win stoppage after stoppage. Enter Mark Murphy. It started from his contested mark 4 or 5 minutes ago. That's a fantastic Rovers goal. We just see, just runs onto the loose ball, bends it across his leg and straight over the goal umpire's hat. Has a wave to the crowd, straight off the ground for a well-earned rest.
Well, Mark Murphy is top 10 in their goal kicking last season, and he's been a goal kicker in 10 of the 16 games this season as well. The Blues back to a 17-point lead. And that was after Sydney led just 11 minutes ago. Cloak couldn't find it. Betts off the ground without success. Ablett taken down strongly.
You want to see that. Cameron Cloak putting a strong tackle on there in that situation. They've just made it a bit more of a scrap, and it was looking all one-way traffic there. Start of this quarter.
Gain numbers around the ball. 20 of the 36 are right around this bounce.
Mickey O's been a big loss because he was in his best form for the game. They've had to push Everett and Goods forward now.
Kirk at the bottom of it.
This is the sort of stuff Brett Ratten as a player loved. You're getting down and dirty in the middle. He's got his team doing the same thing.
How's he looking down there, Lee Colbert? Mickey O just in front of you there, jogging on the boundary line.
Yeah, not great. He's telling the physio that he's struggling with twisting and turning. So it's interesting to see what's going to come of this.
Bevan wins the free kick. Carazzo just in a little too high. Still more than 6 minutes left on the clock in the third quarter. And Bevan looking for Jolly. Kicked the first goal of the game. This end of the ground, Jolly.
Here's Goods.
Goods on the lead. Gibbs right there with him. Jared Moore latches onto the loose ball. Open goal beckons and the Swans hit back.
Won't go in the scorebook as a possession for Adam Goods, but he's created a goal. He hasn't had a great game. We've been talking about what a great job Gibbs has been doing, but here's Goods contesting the mark. Good punch from Gibbs. Moore's front and square, so all of a sudden Goods has had a bit of impact. He gets a little bit of confidence out of it. Okay, I didn't mark the ball, I didn't get a possession, but I've created a goal for my teammate. Good play.
He's a little pocket dynamo, isn't he, Jared Moore?
Back-to-back goals for the Swans. Jared Moore. The margin cut to 11.
Great camera work there of Goods deep in the forward line now for Sydney.
It really tests young Bryce Gibbs. He's playing deep. It's okay to play in the half-back line, but any little mistake playing at full-back normally results in a goal.
Cameron Cloak up high. Palms it to Bentic. Had to go again, Cloak. And now they've coughed it up. Jared Moore. Quick kick out of the congestion. Goods.
There he is. This is interesting here now. Brett Ratten will be asking his coaches in the box. Gibbs is having a very good game on Goods, but he's not as big and he's not as strong as Adam Goods.
Just see that little strip there from Ablett. I'll try and get the boys to have another look at that. It was just unbelievable. He was about to clear it, Cameron Cloak, and he got his hand in Luke Ablett and stripped the ball, which caused a turnover, which means that now Goods will have a shot for goal. His third possession of the day, this one is.
Goal kicker last week in the loss to Hawthorn. A goal kicker the last time he played the Blues as well. Adam Goods comes in and a straight kick separates these teams again.
Brilliant finish by Goods. You're right, Danny. He got himself involved. I want to have a look at this, Spud. They were away for all money, and look at that bit of play by Ablett. Fantastic. Just stripped the ball from Cloak. Meant that the ball spilled free. The quick kick by Moore again, and he's in front, the bigger body. Terrific play, Swans.
Well, over to you now, Brett Ratten. Goods has been involved in the last two goals, creating one for Moore and kicking one himself, and Bryce Gibbs is now playing as a defender. This is a good move from Paul Roos, putting Goods forward. Had no impact in the game whatsoever, and now he's created two goals.
You've got to stick with young Gibbs. He's done such a good job. Leave him there. I hope he holds his nerve, the coach.
Nick Stevens in traffic. And now Carlton with a chance to clear. Out to the wing, Eddie Betts. 26 minutes played in the third quarter. Carazzo. Corral. Little undecided. Hands over to Mark Murphy. He's going laterally as well for Andrew Walker. Driving it inside the attacking 50. Not really to the advantage of his teammates, though. Awkward bounce for the Swans, though. Bird getting back. And Sydney with numbers. Craig Bolton. Hand pass for Luke Ablett, who just drives it out of the danger zone.
Well done, Heath Scotland. That was good play.
Well, that's his strength. He reads the play, Heath Scotland. Young O'Dwyer was behind. Heath read the play better, and he drew a free kick.
Scotland looking deep. Heads to the goal front. Favola pushed out of the equation.
He's had a couple of ticky-touchwood free kicks, Brendan Favola, but that was definitely there. Let's have a look at this replay. No, the nudge was far too early. That's a free kick.
It is, but you're right. Swings and slides. We did say it was 20 free kicks to 8 at half-time. A couple of these, I hope it doesn't, because you just pay them as you see them, but empty forward line here, just Goods and Gibbs, unless Wade can get back.
Goods working to the front. Gibbs too strong.
I think that's a positive sign for Bryce Gibbs.
He's a star, this kid, mate.
Grigg steps around Bird. Off and running from the 50, the left footer unloads and gets the job done. It started with Bryce Gibbs and it's finished by Sean Grigg.
I think we've got to understand with Bryce Gibbs, he's only 3 months younger than Matthew Cruiser, and Goods has been involved in the last 2 goals for Sydney. But have a look at that contested mark. He backed himself in. He didn't say, OK, I'm not going to play behind and just do an easy spoil. I'm going to back myself in to win this ball and create a play for my teammates, which ended in a magnificent goal from Grigg. That's a great sign there. We just see Grigg very excited there.
Tell you what, though, Danny, if this is the disappointing part. Now, right, you've been outmarked, Adam Goods. Stand there, let's spectate a bit. And then this was a bad sign. Look at him. He's standing there. Gibbs has already peeled off. He's got the 1-2 and driven him forward. He's a Brownlow medalist.
He had to try and corral both players.
Had to look lively. Had to look lively.
Good on your toes.
A little over 3 minutes left here in the third quarter. Kennelly for Richards. Now out wide, trying to track it down. Jude Bolton. Andrew Walker supplies a good tackle. Carlton grabbing some momentum here. Jared Wade on the boundary line and now over.
We just saw Ty Kennelly there. Just a missed tackle. No doubt the tackling of players for Ty Kennelly with that left shoulder heavily strapped makes it hard on him.
Jolly off. O'Keefe back onto the ground for Sydney. Luke Ablett across the line as well.
What a great game, because there's so much at stake for both sides. Carlton still with a chance to make the finals. Sydney a chance to step in ahead of everyone by 6 points in the 4th position, a double chance. So much on the line, and both coaches would know that. That's a great tackle.
White wrapped up, going nowhere, holding the ball.
We had an opportunity. Good decision.
Let's get down to Lee Colbert on the boundary line. Adam Goods has been taken off.
He has. He's come off. O'Keefe, as you mentioned, is back in. Mickey O's looking very, very sore, and Leo Barry's got a sore left hamstring.
Will Carlton get away from the danger zone again? Walker thought about playing on.
Well, that means they'll have to rejig. It means that Craig Bolton will have to go on to Favola.
Wiggins leads, but Walker looking beyond that to the 50-metre arc, and the Swans happy to escort it over.
And also McVeigh, who's kicked 2 goals from Sydney, has to go into Eddie Betts. So Leo Barry off the ground has impacted a fair bit for Paul Roos and his matchups.
Eddie Betts lurking with intent. Matner did a good job to close him down. Jordan Russell wrapped up on the tackle.
There's his opponent, Adam Goods' opponent this afternoon. He's just been given the job. If Adam Goods comes off for a spell, Bryce Gibbs, you can have a spell as well.
Some might say thrown into the deep end, but we learned today that his dad did that when he was 2 years old. Threw him into the pool to see if he could swim. He did okay there, and he's doing even better today.
Yeah, that is School of Hard Knocks, that's called. Just throw him in the water. Let's just see how he responds at 2.
Did have the floaties on, but still Ross Gibbs decided I wanted to see what he can come up with here.
Moore's running hard here for Sydney.
Craig Bolton gets in that direction and knocked down.
We play on now.
You really needs to run and bounce here. Nothing. They've got loose players, Carlton.
Lead on from Playfair. Third man in line. There's Favola on Craig Bolton.
No, that's silly. No need for that. We could have attempted to smother, which is fair enough.
We got him high.
Just went at the man.
Scotland got it from Waite after Cruiser's good tap down. Now the Swans with Kennelly. Less than a minute to remains here until three-quarter time, and the mark taken by Jude Bolton, who plays on quickly. O'Keefe unloads. Lewis Roberts-Thompson on the end of it.
Good running by Roberts-Thompson. He started in the other pocket. He really pushed hard to space. And it was a good kick in front of him too, but it was really good work rate.
Jude Bolton is really willing his team to win this game of football. His last 2 quarters have been superb. 5 inside 50s, 1 goal. He's winning all the clearance count as well.
Roberts-Thompson, 2 goals, 1 this season. Hasn't kicked a goal for 3 weeks though. That bends back, and it's a 5-point difference.
It's a cracking game of footy. And Roberts-Thompson's been swung forward because O'Loughlin's injured. Goods is out of form. We've got O'Keefe up the ground. A good kick by O'Keefe, but I love the work rate there of Roberts-Thompson. You couldn't pick a winner in this game at the moment because Carlton have got the answers at the moment, you would think. But Sydney keep coming and coming and coming.
Well, the thing that's really going to hurt Sydney in the end is the war of attrition. Their full forward and full back are on the bench. Their bookends, Leo Barry and Michael O'Loughlin. Looks like Michael O'Loughlin's running to the dressing rooms, Lee Cole, is that right?
Yeah, he is. He's, the doctor's been busy down this for this quarter for Sydney. He's going to have a jab also.
Well, we've played 33 minutes in the third quarter. Bentic trying to get it out of the congestion. Ted Richards couldn't find it, knocked down by Carazzo. And that is all for the third term.
11 scoring shots to Sydney to 5 for the quarter, yet they still trail, John.
Yes, they were off being there a little, Sydney. They added 6 goals, 5 in that quarter, and Carlton kicked 5 straight.
The last 2 weeks, Sydney have kicked 16 goals, 29.
It's up for grabs. Carlton with a 5-point edge. We'll be back with the final quarter right after this. Well, Brendan Favola, 4 goals, 2 to his credit so far. Jude Bolton is really putting together some, not only today, but last week, 24 disposals, 5 clearances, 5 tackles. He's top 10 in the AFL in tackles. He can do it all.
Well, it'll be interesting to see the ruck duels there. We see Jude Bolton on screen. Jolly's into the ruck. No doubt he'll be looking for him. And Carlton just need to put some pressure onto Jude Bolton because he's the danger man around the middle of the ground.
I think it'd be fair to say it's game on, Danny.
Well, it's one of Lee Colbert's
I hate using something that he's got a
favourite
patent
sayings,
on.
but no, he has got the patent on game on. But this is game on, Colby.
It is game on. Leo Barry's gone for the day, boys. He's got a hamstring getting strapped up at the moment with ice on it. And Mickey O, he doesn't want to borrow this last quarter. He looks like he's in a bit of trouble as well.
Well, the bookends, that's disappointing. It means that Craig Bolton will be on Favola. Matner, unfortunately, has to go on to bet, so they've lost a bit of run there, the Sydney Swans.
Underway in the fourth quarter from the Telstra Dome. Carlton with a 5-point lead.
It looks like Sean Griggs gone to Jude Bolton there, so Brett Ratton all over the fact that he's had a big impact in this game.
Good starting deep forward again with Bryce Gibbs.
Jolly wins the tap, but it came back to Cruiser, who throws it onto the boot. Ted Richards takes a good mark.
Gee, the Barry loss is a big one. It really is. It gives him such good drive as well.
O'Keefe from half-back, looking for Goods. Comes out strongly. Gibbs right there with him. Spills to Murphy. He goes back for Gibbs. He shakes the Goods tackle. Pass not the best, though. O'Keefe over the back there of his opponent, Jared Waite. And now the clean-up work to be done. Craig Bird finds Kieran Jack. Coming up for his 11th disposal. Playfair on a long lead. Had to work hard. Keeps it alive momentarily and now across the line.
Just want to have a look at this.
The free kick going to Playfair, awarded against Mark Austin. And that free kick count continues to even up. It's now 24-16.
Oh, surprise, surprise.
8-4 since half-time in favour of Sydney.
That's a good kick.
McVeigh given the hurry up. Whole pitch is just in front of Roberts-Thompson and now over the line.
I spoke a bit soon there. The option was right. Just didn't have enough length on the kick.
Look at this Gibbs ball. I reckon he spoiled to his teammate there. Oh, no, it's probably been a bit kind.
It was a great spoil, but Goods went to ground without a lot of body pressure there. Just need to stand your ground.
Jared Moore wrapped up in a strong tackle. Judd trying to clear the ball out. Does so. Cruiser working hard at ground level. He barrels it forward as well. Gave it up to Kirk. What a smother coming from Kate Simpson.
It was a fantastic smother, but the option was the hands. He was just going to do a dinky little kick there, Brett Kirk. He was committed to the kick, unfortunately, but it was a very good smother.
Cruiser works to the front, backhands it forward. Carazzo. Cruiser took one high from Jolly.
That's a good decision.
It's been great.
Yeah, it is. It's a good decision to the umpire. Jolly just a bit overzealous there. Tried to spoil the ball, but unfortunately give young Cruiser a little bit of an ear massage there.
Disposal number 6 for Cruiser. Up to the half-forward line. Judd couldn't take the mark. Not his strong suit. Betts barreled into the ground by Matner and Grundy in tandem.
Have a look at this Cruiser free kick again. There's Jolly. Yeah, there's actually a nose
massage.
Yeah. Good decision.
Carazzo works to the front, wins the tap. The Blues continue to force the ball in their direction. Nice kick around the corner from Carazzo. Jordan Russell couldn't take the mark. But Sydney still with some work to do. Craig Bolton for Jared Moore.
Good running from
Ablett the target.
That's hard running from Luke Ablett there. Been good on Nick Stevens. Only 8 disposals for Nick Stevens. Averages about 24.
Good awareness as well as he finds Craig Bird.
He's got McVeigh 1-on-1 in the square.
Looks in that direction now. McVeigh goal side of Scotland. Controlled it well. Marches into the goal. Kicks his 4th, a career high.
He's one of the most improved players in the competition, Jared McVeigh. With 4 goals there, that's a great result for any half forward. Not only that, he's keeping Heath Scotland at bay there, and it was well picked up here. Craig Bird put the ball to space to the advantage of Jared McVeigh. Not a lot Heath Scotland could do because the kick was absolutely perfect. Kicked the ball to grass to McVeigh's advantage, and that is a good mark and a good goal.
Well, Sydney back in front by 1 point. A career day for Jared McVeigh, his 4th goal in game number 97.
And he's moved on to Chris Judd now. So Brett Kirk having a spell.
Only had 2 touches since half-time, Chris Judd.
Here's Kieran Jack again. Got it from Jolly, driving Sydney dangerously forward. Ablett at the back. Gibbs again standing tall for Carlton. White clears. Carazzo. Grundy right there with Fisher. Ball stayed in. And a chance for the Blues. Body work from Kennelly. Got rid of Jordan Russell, and he's off and running to O'Keefe.
Well, Wade is just trailing off O'Keefe there. Got Goods.
Goods on the lead again. Good separation this time. Nothing Bryce Gibbs could do about that.
He needs to just settle here. Just relax. Go back. He hasn't had a great day. If he kicks this, he's kicked 2 goals.
Right, he's a leader. Just take it upon yourself to kick the team goal.
Those numbers are not good. But he needs to take the responsibility here.
Goal kicker in the 3rd quarter, Adam Goods. This to give Sydney a 7-point lead across the face. A minor score.
They're still going to continue to do this. They're going to empty out the forward line as much as possible and try and make it 1 out. But as you said, John, in the call, there's not a thing Bryce Gibbs could have done with that one. The kick was spot on.
Murphy was looking for Simpson. What went beyond him. Still plenty of work to do, the Blues. Not on their defensive 50. Swans are just talking them out of this at the moment. Murphy comes again.
Just the pressure.
Carazzo. Fisher helping out the defenders.
That's great pressure.
And he's forced the error.
It forced the turnover. Now there's some Sydney players free everywhere here inside the forward 50.
More of the next one.
Roberts-Thompson looks to the pocket. Strong mark has been taken by O'Keefe.
That's why Sydney are ranked #1 in tackles. Their pressure in their forward 50 there. They just didn't want to let the ball come out with any fluency. You see the turnover. That's just great play there from young O'Dwyer. Just caused the ball to spoon in the air. Playfair takes the mark and importantly plays on quickly.
The goal kicker in the 2nd quarter and again in the 3rd. O'Keefe. Sydney with a 2-point lead. 7 minutes played in the final quarter. This to give them their biggest lead of the game. And Ryan O'Keefe makes no mistake.
We talked about the wonderful game of Jude Bolton, and Ryan O'Keefe now is a leading kick winner on the ground. He's had 23 disposals. He's taken 8 marks. 1-on-1. That's a good, strong, contested mark. He's worked at both ends of the ground. That's why I'm so impressed about the way O'Keefe plays, is that he will push back, he'll help out the defence, and he'll push forward and get himself dangerous as well. And it was a great finish in the end.
And Jared Waite lets him go, but when O'Keefe gets into a dangerous area, he's basically got a man up.
Paul Roos ringing the changes from the bench. Ryan O'Keefe's a winner. He's played against Carlton 9 times and he's won 9 times.
This will be one of their better wins for the year, though. 2 men down on the bench. War of attrition for the Swans. They need all their leaders to step up, and here's one of them, Bolton.
The Blues with some work to do, down by 8 points. And the Swans are coming. Heavy work from Bevan.
Well, we've played 8.5 minutes in the last quarter, so there's plenty of time left. The only 2 goals in the quarter have been Sydney. They've got Leo Barry and Michael O'Loughlin out of business. And it's been all the Swans.
Tackle count 56-51 Sydney. Crowd of 38,500 on hand as well, and they've got value for money. Jordan Russell couldn't take the mark. Getting back Matner with the support of Grundy, who came into the team when Malcheski was a late withdrawal.
And Brett Kirk's only had a breather. It's well coached. He had a breather for 2 minutes. Chris Judd's been on the ground. McVeigh went on to Judd for a couple of minutes. Now Brett Kirk is full of running.
Looking for goods against Bryce Gibbs. Gibbs again solid in the contest. Support from Cameron Cloak. Now Mark Austin. Surveys the options. Needed to be precise and was, as he found Wiggins, who hands over to Michael Jamison. His pass not the best. Ball in dispute, chance for Matner. Club from behind and O'Keefe can run away.
It's hurt him too.
Well, for Vola.
This is a good kick.
Scotland knocks it down. Lurking Jared Moore to Goods. Had support, elected to go solo. Gets a user-friendly bounce, but can't bring it back enough.
Well, Favola was just over the top in this area here. He had a little bit of a winch for the umpire to say, what for? Well, basically rode Matner into the ground.
Scotland restarts and finds Cameron Cloak. 10 minutes played in the final quarter.
Swung the leg there at Favola and didn't connect, of course.
Hand pass from Austin, put some pressure on. But he was equal to the challenge. Murphy, Judd, tackled without it perhaps.
Oh, that's super.
Still got away from it, and Murphy kept running. He started the play, he's going to put the finishing touches on and hit the post.
Well, Chris Judd, he's unbelievable in place. We had 3 players to beat there and still had the awareness to turn in the tackle and hand the ball to Mark Murphy. He didn't taking the players on, but hold his feet, strong through the hips. Clever.
Richards did well, bodying out Betts from the contest. The hand pass, not the best, but it finds Kieran Jack. Good acceleration. He gets away, looks for Adam Goods. Takes the mark, plays on. Tries to improve the angle with the left foot, and Sydney have the biggest lead of the day.
It mightn't be your day, but it could be your moment. And that's what you've got to play in league football. Mightn't have the best of days, but Adam Goods is just proving why he's a dual Brownlow medalist and a leader of the Sydney Swans. Gibbs has been all over him. That was a great mark, and he took the game on loan.
Oh, he summed it up so well. Gibbs had to try and get himself up the ground because of his effort to try and spoil. He just took him on, had a bit of space. And he ran a long way, but it was a brilliant bit of play by Adam Goods.
It's been a great move from Paul Roos. He's second, well, the last quarter and a half, 2 goals, 2. We see Barry Hall in the box there. 2 goals, 2. He's had an impact in 4 goals now, Adam Goods. You couldn't have said that in the first half when he's playing on ball.
3 unanswered goals in the first 12 minutes of the final quarter have the Swans leading by 14 points.
All their leaders are having an impact, Liam. O'Keefe, Goods.
And the problem is at the other side of the end of the scale is Stevens hasn't touched it and Judd's struggling.
Goods unable to take the mark. Bryce Gibbs getting support from Bentic. Charges away from the half-back line. Can he get enough on the kick? No. Was looking for Wiggins, and Heath Grundy slips across to take the mark. Now O'Keefe.
Jared Waite will have known he's played a game today on Rhino Coast. 15, 16 Ks in the legs.
Craig Bolton got away from Favola. Charges up to the wing. Playfair leads. Bolton looks in that direction. Congested forward line with a contested Kirk. Only as far as Stevens, who wants to break a tackle. Coughed it up. Jolly around the body. Again, the pressure on the Blues. Carrazzo wrapped up by the rookie Maddo Dwyer. Peter Everett on all fours.
That's a win for the Swans. They're away, the Blues. And again, it's just the tackling, the fierce tackle. Maddo Dwyer's done some terrific things in this last quarter. His pressure. Maddo Dwyer.
Bolton for Jared McVeigh. He gives it up. Craig Bird.
Good smother.
Tremendous defensive work from the Blues.
Gee, that was a good smother by Simpson. Desperate smother. A lot of intent there. He had his head kicked off.
Little over 10 minutes left. Judd sharks the tap from Jolly. Waite. Now Simpson with a bounce.
Oh, they've got a loose player on this side of the ground now. If he sees him, and he has.
Jamison
He's got so much space.
Bounce wasn't the best for him, but Jamison still with a chance.
He's got Favola one-on-one.
And he takes the mark ahead of Craig Bolton.
Yeah. He's got to go back and kick the goal now.
Oh, he loves his situation, though, Spud. This distance.
I'd still like him to turn around after he takes a mark from about 50, though, because there could be a player on. There wasn't on this situation, but just get it into your game that there could be a player in a better position than 50 metres out on an angle.
I think he's done a couple of pretty unselfish things today, though. There's a handball over the top earlier and tried a short pass. He needs to kick this for Carlton.
Goal kicker in the first, second and third quarters for Violet. That's not going to be a major, though. And the Swans clear.
Well, that was ordinary from Cameron Clark. Allowing Jolly to mark the ball in that situation should have spoiled the ball.
Vola straight off the ground after he had that shot, which exposed that side of the ground because he was on his way off. He kicked the goal. It was marked by, went to have a shot at goals, marked by Jolly, kicked it back to where he was standing, where no one was within 50 metres because he was on his way to the bench.
15 minutes done here in the final quarter. And Carlton down by 14 points. Look to mount another charge. Bryce Gibbs out for Fisher. 22 disposals for Gibbs. No one has more for the Blues, and now is 23rd. Adam Hartlett. Carrazzo. Keep coming, the Blues. Fisher got it back from Hartlett. Works for Judd. Kirk right there with him. Matner back to Kirk. The Swans had numbers, and they fought their way through that impeccably. That not so.
Cruz is on his own if he can find him.
Fisher squaring the ball for Bryce Gibbs.
Gibbs is in the midfield now. They've taken him off Adam Goods. Young Jamison's on Adam Goods in the goal screen out.
Thornton made the error, then cleans it up. Heath Scotland looking for Betts. Bolton with the edge in height.
Good spot.
Stevens came up with the loose ball, and now a chance for Jared Waite. In his 100th game, can't get the goal they needed.
3 shots on goal for Jared Waite, playing at centre half back, 20 disposals. His direct opponent O'Keefe's had 26 and 4 shots on goal. Bit of a shootout between the boys.
It is.
Carlton have kicked just 2 behinds since three-quarter time.
A little bit sore, Jared Waite too, after that. He got disposed of at the hands of the trainers at the moment.
Yeah, probably not sure you want to be playing on Ryan O'Keefe a bit sore, because he'll test you with an inch of your life with his work rate.
Grundy, good distance with the kick, and Jolly takes the mark.
Well, he shouldn't have allowed Cameron Clark, shouldn't have allowed him to get goal side.
Jolly plays on, kicked the first goal of the game, and he puts a nail in Carlton's coffin.
All their leaders are standing up. Darren Jolly's had a very consistent year. Could be in line for All-Australian honours because of his consistency. Took a beautiful mark when Brendan Favola had a shot on goal. We see get goal side of Cameron Cloak here and had the awareness when Cloak hit the ground to say, OK, I can play on and I don't have to kick over the man of the mark. That is a very good Luda's goal. He's had a great year, Darren Jolly. 13 disposals, 2 goals, good return for a ruckman.
Second goal of the game, 51st of his career. Sydney lead by 19 points. 7 and a bit minutes to play. Cloak scurries a kick forward for Carlton. Judd with Madden to contend with. Somehow got it to Fisher. Quick hands. Wiggins. Bentic. Neat pass. Betts. Carlton desperate for their first since three-quarter time, and Eddie Betts obliges.
Well, came back for the centre clearance from Cameron Clark, got it forward, scrounged it forward. I think it was a good, apt description. But if you can get it, even if you throw it on your boot, sometimes your forwards are in front. Good kick by Bentic, and Betts has got that ability to really ignite the side because of the way he plays. And important that he got that goal because it was really getting to become a margin that was nearly out of control over 3 goals.
It's interesting, Jared Waite's free behind the ball for Carlton, and Ted Richards is free for Sydney. So not quite sure who initiated the free man, but it means there'll be some uncontested ball in the next couple of minutes.
Lewis Roberts-Thompson gets the Sydney Swans heading forward. McVeigh shut down by Scotland. Nice tackle from O'Keefe, and it rattled the ball away from Grigg. Scotland again for Carazzo. Again, the Swans providing plenty of pressure. Bentic taken high.
The trouble is they've got an extra man at the stop in their defence now, but when Carlton go forward, Sydney have got an extra man.
Well, this is the problem, as I said. Carlton's ball use in this last quarter has been very ordinary. And now, whether that's the pressure of the Swans, whether that's the implied pressure or the perceived pressure they've got these players, they're kicking at 38%. They need to tidy that up to be able to win this game.
Kirk. Hand pass missed its target. Brad Fisher finds Cruiser. Did well to get it to Bryce Gibbs, in turn Carazzo. Carlton not done with just yet. Bentic been busy here in the final quarter. Russell nudged under it by Kennelly, who runs back now. Judd tracks him down. Matner caught on the wrong foot, which is his right, but he finds Playfair.
Again, that kick inside 50, John. It's like straight over his head. Favoured Kennelly. This is why they've got the ball on the other side, the Swans.
Playfair looking for Jolly. Cruiser there with him. Big fist on the ball. Taken over the line by Jared Waite.
Paul Roos has got a little bit of a mismatch here too. He's got Nick Stevens at full back on Jared Moore. Nick Stevens should be screaming out to someone. I want a half-back flanker to come back and play on him, because I need to get on the ball to generate some forward thrust for my team.
Roberts-Thompson gave that up straight to Waite. Now a chance for Cade Simpson. Goes to the goal square for Vola. Wrestling with Craig Bolton. Playfair joins in. For Vola trying to draw a free kick. He's given one away for a throw.
He tried to do the right thing there, Brendan. He was a little bit stupid. It was a scoop. It's a free kick.
Matner. Kieran Jack with it now as we move inside the last 5 minutes. O'Keefe waited for the bounce. It wasn't a good one. Favoured Sean Grigg, but that's a little deliberate. Free kick to the Swans.
You've got to be a bit cleverer than that.
He was better off grabbing the ball and letting Ryan O'Keefe tackle him and then go to ground.
Well, take the tackle. Don't cough it up like that. That wasn't very subtle.
Just his 19th game of his career, Sean Grigg. As O'Keefe looks for goods. Couldn't take the mark, but this game is now being played on Sydney's terms.
You mentioned Nick Stevens. I think Brett Ratton's just said, look, you're not getting the ball in the midfield. You've had 8 touches. You go and play a role for us in defence. That's certainly a Carlton move. He hasn't been dragged back there. He's played there pretty much the whole last quarter.
Carazzo got it from Gibbs. Was trying to find Bentic, now out of bounds.
That's fair enough too, but if I was Paul Roos, I'd say, OK, let's empty out the forward line. Even though Jared Moore was knee-high to a grasshopper, we'll use him as the power forward.
But it's a win to Sydney anyway. They want Nick Stevens back there. They're happy with that.
Everett won the tap, went straight to Eddie Betts. Richards hit the ball first. And a high tackle called against Carlton by umpire Ray Chamberlain.
First of the ball, Sydney. O'Keefe, he's been an absolute star today. 3 goals, 27 disposals. 10 inside 50s.
Goods to target once more. Carlton getting back with numbers, but Goods is there wheeling around. Not accurately enough. It's hit the hot point post, out of bounds on the full.
Well, that was amazing. Jared Waite spoiled his own teammate and Cameron Cloak there. It's amazing the free kick count also. It's just about evened up. 25 to Carlton, 21 to Sydney.
13 to 5 since half-time after it was 20 to 8 the other way.
Could have put good money on that loan.
Yes.
At half-time.
Look at the pressure. Now, Carlton need to somehow force a free ball here because Sydney, they're the masters at this. Let's just make it contest after contest after contest. Let's see if we can make it a real scrap and waste 2 minutes off the clock, which makes it nearly impossible for the Blues to win.
More than 23 minutes played. Murphy backtracking, shrugs one tackle. In traffic. Bentic back for Murphy. Favola against Bolton, wrestling. Eddie Betts,
great tackle.
Livewire ran onto it. Favola comes again around the body. The Blues are back to within distance.
It's a great tackle. The great recovery from Brendan Favola. It was great play from Matner. You just see Mark Murphy. He got the 1-2. That was terrific play from Mark Murphy. Gets the ball in Favola. Good contest. You see Eddie Betts get the ball. A great tackle from Matner. But Favola's agility to get up was first class.
Well, Eddie Betts kept the ball alive. That was the beauty of this. It was a great bit of play by Bolton, but he just was able to just move it forward into some space, and well done for Favola to run onto it and kick the goal. They're not out of this.
Favola gets his 5th. They've kicked the last 2, Carlton. It's the 7th time in 16 games this season the Fev's got 5 or more. Jolly into the ruck for the Swans, knocks it forward.
Interesting knock forward. There was no Swans player where he knocked it to, though.
And now a chance for Thornton. Just hitting Hope, and the mark taken by Bevan.
Had to lower his eyes a little bit. Just kicking Hope was just called case. Sydney defence loved that.
Less than 3 minutes on the clock. Swans need at least 2 scores. But Carlton need at least 2 scores. And it's Sydney going forward. And what a mark taken there by O'Keefe.
He'll hold it up here for a while. He'll try and milk it for all it's worth.
Game high 10 marks for O'Keefe. Disposal number 29 to go with it. Jolly.
He's putting his hand up for all Australian honours, Darren Jolly. He's been outstanding today. If he nails this, it'll be very hard for Carlton to get back. He's already kicked the 2 goals. 9 marks, 4 of those contested. It's a great follower's game.
And averages 22 hit-outs a game, 3rd in the AFL.
Oh, it's a big kick. Difficult kick. But he has been kicking very well all day. You confident, Spuds?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident.
List to wrap it up. Darren Jolly kicked the first goal of the game. That one saves the post.
He hit that well too.
He hit it well.
The Blues need to just... Their ball use here is critical.
Well, they've got to kick 2 goals in a minute and a half.
90 seconds on the clock. The Blues at centre wing.
Playing at all costs. Just get the ball in there.
Roberts Thompson loose behind play, and the Swans Carlton forward line. Look at that. That's what kills you in a close game.
You've got to take the game on, Liam. You're right. The ball had to go in the corridor, even if it goes to a 50-50, because by holding the ball up, it allowed Sydney to get behind the ball. Just to kick it out wide really helped Sydney.
Beautiful play by Murphy.
Bentic, Bryce Gibbs into the pocket looking for Favola, but it's too wide.
They need a man up here now, Carlton. The last thing they need is an uncontested mark to a free Sydney player.
They're going to get one here.
Well, no one's on the mark, which is quite interesting. I think that's good play.
Well, we saw John Badner, so he can just stand there and bounce it. And that's what I'd do. I would not be moving at the moment. I'd be standing there if I was having a bounce.
Good play from Lewis Roberts Thompson.
Now looks for distance up to the wing. Jolly and Cloak contest. Cloak goes to ground. Grigg finds Thornton.
Needs to get the ball in the corridor to wait if you can find him.
Does so now. Blues running out of time. 40 seconds and counting. Scotland off a step. It was a neat pass.
They got Fisher on long.
Fisher's a long target.
Simpson spots him now. Looks for Fisher. Roberts Thompson there with him. Eddie came strongly. Eddie Betts running into an open goal. We've got a 2-point ball game.
Magnificent front and square goal. You sensed something was going to happen, and there's no doubt the Sydney runner will now get out to every Sydney player and say, get behind the ball. 19 seconds left on the clock. You can see Paul Roos. He's showing some animation now. The runners are out there.
The hit up by Scotland was a beauty because instead of continuing and going the wide track, he took it back into the corridor, which opened it up for Simpson, and they're exciting. There's players like Eddie Betts.
There's no doubt there's a lot of Sydney players behind the ball. All they need is an uncontested possession, Sydney. Carlton just need to get it in there and try and halve a contest. Keep the ball alive.
Well, they're dragging down some dangerous players from on, as well as doing that.
19 seconds on the clock. The Swans hold a 2-point edge. Ablett tackle.
Well, that's a win for Sydney.
10 seconds. They need to. It's got to be a long hit. Someone, even the third man up's got to come over and hit this into space.
Gibbs.
And that's what they did.
Obliges.
Bolton
taken high by Judd, and that will be enough.
He deserves it, Jude Bolton. He's been a star today. He got Sydney back in the game.
Oh, what a contest. It meant a lot to Paul Roos. He shows the animation. And after they were down by 29 points in the second quarter, the Swans climb out of the grave to post their 11th straight win over Carlton.
Well called, Case. You don't see emotion from Paul Roos that often. But he knew this was and look, they're only 4-point games, but now they're a game and a half clear in fourth spot. That's a great win. It was a terrific game of football all day. We see Brendan Favola there. He was a star with 5. But Sydney's leaders, Liam, Ryan O'Keefe, Jude Bolton, McVeigh, Super, Darren Jolly.
They were wonderful this afternoon, both sides really. I think Carlton, full credit to the way they played, without a major influence from Judd or Nick Stevens. I thought the game of Bryce Gibbs on Adam Goods was just sensational this afternoon. I thought he was clearly their best player. Favola was very good with 5 goals, but when the game was in the balance, the more experienced, better ball users in Sydney were able to get them over the line.
And also without the fact that Leo Barry and Michael O'Loughlin was unbelievable there, with O'Loughlin limping off the ground. I'm sure Lee Colbert, he'll grab Jude Bolton. We'll head down to Lee Colbert.
Mate, your well-deserved drink. That was an unbelievable game of footy. Yeah, it was, we started so poorly. We built ourselves up to have a big start, and it was really disappointing the way we came out. But the boys' credit, we really dug in and came over the top of them, which is great.
Your second half, I mean, you're obviously in and under all game, but you came out at three-quarter time, and you were the one that set the tone.
Oh, well, we got so much to play for. I mean, like, obviously, the top 4 spots on the line and that sort of thing. So, you know, we just got to get our form back, and it was good to get a win.
You got a couple of whacks around the ears today, mate. How's the ears feeling?
Yeah, it's all right. I had a bit of blood coming from it. It's all right.
Did you know that you were actually a couple of men down going into that last quarter?
Yeah, Brucey said that, and we could rotate forward if we wanted to, but that's all right. We just dug deep, and it was good.
Well done, mate. Congratulations.
Thanks, Colby.
You just see that Paul Roos talking to Mickey O'Loughlin.
Just have a look at the Sydney Swans play. Sorry, Liam. They are, and Adam Goods in the middle. That's amazing. They are as tight as a bunch as you'll ever see.
Well, it'll be interesting. I'd say Ty Kennelly, who did some important things at the finish. 150th game for a boy from Ireland. Wonderful performer.
The Blues were brave also.
They were great this afternoon. They really were.
Well, the Blues led by 22 points at quarter time, by 16 at the half. They were still in front at three-quarter time by 5 points. But it's Sydney who prevail in an absolute thriller. It's Sydney 18-13, 121, and defeated Carlton by 2 points, 18-11, 119.